starting here in the Four Corners Maiden. Right out to the lead is the Vault legend Swamp Thing, followed by Good Gravy and Jackie Brown closely for third. Break of two, that's Mr. Mint Chestnut in fourth. Digging in, but it's all Pandora player with a half-length lead. Cheesy Hair is digging in, giving it all. She's got captain, but it's Cheesy Hair, and look out from the back. It's Bubba Kush at the wire, but not gonna get him. It's Pandora player over Bubba Kush and Cheesy Tortilla.
Showing you guys at the beginning of the race, if somebody in the chat wins a race, we got a new graphic for you, and we're back with the greatest NFT horse racing caller in the game. What's up, Knowz? How are you doing tonight, my man?
Yo, what up, Vault? What up, chat? Everybody know what day it is? It's Fool's Day, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, you have to explain to everybody what Fool's Day is. What's up, my man, True Stoner? What's up, Mr. Daniel Marquez? Thanks for hanging out with us. Hopefully you guys got some horses already. If not, like Mo just said, it's Fool's Day, so we're probably going to see some horses on the market. Mo, do you want to explain to everybody exactly what Fool's Day is?
Well, you see, when one mare horse and one filly, or one stud rather, stallion get together and, you know, they want to make a little baby horse, and it takes 2 weeks, or 2 seasons rather, and then we get what's known as Fool's Day, where we get baby horses who are able to race for the first time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Normally is the flip over. I hope it's the same. But yeah, man, Fool's Day. We're going to see some new horses on the track, find out who's going to be champion, who's going to turn the horse glue and wind up in the glue factory.
And that's just 2 minutes ago, so it just started. What he's talking about, you're now able to race those foals that they first bred. Since this is the new version of the beta, it all started over. All the horses got reset. What's up, Alejandro? What's up, Mason Fuzzy? Says, do I have any other NFT platforms that I flip NFTs on? Of course, BV is the main one I flip NFTs on. The other ones I pretty much collect the NFTs, and I'll wait for like a big pump in the NFT market overall. But I'm not really flipping other stuff on other platforms. Maybe a little bit of NBA Top Shot if they have a challenge going on and I get something good out of the pack. But then I usually cash it out if I make a profit. What's up, Investor Better's in the chat? What's up, Mr. Better? I hope you're a horse racing fan. This is a really cool horse racing NFT project that you're really early into. It hasn't even gone live yet, and it's based off of a I guess it's an app or a previous game that they designed that has millions of players called Photo Finish. What's up, a Droidero? Am I quiet? Let me see if I need to fix my mic. My mic's been acting up on me. Let me check.
Real quick while you do that. The game was actually Horse Racing Manager, I believe, on mobile.
Oh, okay. Horse Racing Manager. Got you.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
this was also the same platform that they use on NBC Sports to simulate the Kentucky Derby and the big races. That's where this whole thing stemmed from. So.
Yeah, and I saw that video that they put out where they simulated last year's Kentucky Derby with their software, right?
Yep.
Daniel Marquez, 0 horses, didn't make any account yet. I'm still learning how you race. Yeah, we're figuring that out. We're going to talk about that a lot today. I've got a couple horses in races, including one that starts in about 12 minutes. And then looks like, is R1, is that what they're calling grade ones? I guess not. We got a maiden coming up, a DGen Money Maiden that starts in about 5 minutes, and it has 9 horses in it. So we'll check out both of those. And then we're going to be looking at helping me to decide. I'm going to have Mo over here help me decide who to breed this horse generational wealth with. That's my mare that I picked up off the market. It's a generation 0 horse. I haven't bred it yet. It's only a B+, but it's got full stars on the right turf and firm on its preferences. So we're going to be looking at that for sure, and we're going to be talking about or keeping our eye on the market to see if some of these new breeded horses end up getting sold for cheap and we could pick them up. Might be weather related. Oh, I hear you, Marquez. BD Hinder says, heads up, just found out you have to name those new foals before you can enter them in races if you breed them. Oh, I hope that that's true. That's a new feature they added, because if you remember, Mo, we had a lot of horses that were called like Mr. Icy's foal, and I don't see any of those in the horses that you've called, or in the races that you've called so far. So I'm assuming that's a new feature they added. You have to name them before you can race them, right?
Well, for a few reasons we haven't seen that. One, they actually incorporated something new in the algorithm where if the horses weren't named, it would call it like the silly six or the it'd basically be like the double two or so. It would always do something with the horse number and make some kind of funny name up. You know what I mean? But yeah, now if the horse hasn't been named, it'll give you a warning before you join the race. You cannot join unless you name the horse. And three, we also haven't seen foals of foals yet, so we wouldn't have actually had those names yet. But this would have been the week where we started seeing like Midnight Smokes foals or whatever. That would have been the first time. Also, on that note, my baby did come out. My A plus bred with an A minus. I got an A horse, and it's a filly, so that's good. So I'll be able to continue. Now I'll have 3 fillies in my barn to start working with. So
nice, congratulations. I know I was looking in the Photo Finish Live Discord chat, and they were talking about if you breed, guess it was an A minus with an S, what the chances were that it would come out as an A minus, an A, an S minus, or an S. Do you know what those odds are? Do they change every time? Because I thought that was pretty interesting.
Don't know off the top of my head. Like I said, there's some good stuff on the Medium website as well. That has like some things with the genetic numbers and some extra info that wasn't on the website that you had up yesterday.
Yeah, and I also pulled up the roadmap. I'll link it in the chat. We're probably going to look at this tonight. It's got a lot of great information in there as well. But like I said, we got this maiden race that's going to be starting pretty soon. I see True Stoner's got a horse in this race coming up. And then I have a race coming up at 7:15 in about 9 minutes. So let's see who's all in this race. We got a S-tier horse. We got a couple of S-tier horses in here. We got Desert Eagle from Wolof. We remember Wolof, one of the homies of the stream. We got Slash Sean Connery from Groove Summer. We got Agave is going to be my guess on the pronunciation there. That's from Golden Stables. We got Zoe's Pony from Emerald Stables. Rainbow Jaguar from La Playa. It Was a Good Day from SoCal. We got Sentinel from Big Brain Stables. No Chance, that's True Stoner's horse from the Stoner's Circle. And Queen Beach, that's your favorite there. Great with the stable Grape Syndicate. Looks like the morning line odds were 4.72. And I don't see anything super close to that except for Desert Eagle here, 4.88. And we got another S tier, but it's all the way almost at 6 for the morning odds. And that race is a 5 furlong, so it's going to be a sprint. Goes off in about 1 minute and 30 seconds. My man True Stoner's in here. Let's check out his horse. See if he has a chance. His name is No Chance. Let's see if we can look at him a little bit. Look at those fleet figures. 48, 73, 78 overall. And he's racing a 5 furlong. It looks like in his last 5 furlong, he got 8th of 8, 5th of 7, 7th of 7, 8th of 8. I mean, you might have named him accurately here. He did get a 90 on a late break on that 7 furlong race there, so I kind of feel like maybe you should stretch him out to 7 to 9. What do you think, Mo?
I mean, that speed figure, his highest speed figure is actually on a sloppy track. Although, has he caught? Yeah, he did catch a fast track, right? What do you run, a 73?
Oh, I hear you.
I mean, again, now, my name is Knowz, but I do make assumptions quite a bit, but I will make a disclaimer on that. I don't know this for sure. I collect my own data. What I've noticed is that your sloppy and your soft tracks are going to be much slower time, sometimes 10-15% of what that speed figure would be on a fast track, right? So I'm just looking at that, taking that into consideration. Could also be a distance thing, right? 4, 5, 6, and even 7 are only 1 turn. And then 8, 9, 10 are 2 turns, and then the 11 and 12, I believe, are 3. So you do have, multiple turns to take into account, which is something I actually want to find out. Is the team taking that into account, the algorithm, the amount of turns for the horse,
Here we go.
Looks
Let's
like
see if the new Bugle
race is going.
Bugle gift works, and we'll get this first race started. Good luck, True Stoner. What's up, J Money? Here we go.
All right, horses are in the gate for this opener here in the DGen Money Maiden. And they're rolling out to the lead from the outside. There goes Queen Beach and Agave from the inside. Up in third, that's Rainbow Jaguar, who runs in front of Zoe's Pony in between horses. In fifth, that's No Chance in the Pink Silks. And Sly Sean Connery. Yeah, I think you might have restarted it, and that's what I was telling you about yesterday. Here we go.
Sorry about that.
So it's all right. I don't know what we're gonna do about this. There's really nothing I can do except keep calling the race as Agave now holds the lead by 3 over Queen Beach, who stalks on the outside, and it's Zoe's pony who's running the inside in front of Rainbow Jaguar. Now I'm all screwed up. Sly Sean Connery, and here we go at the top of the stretch. They head for home, and like a horse out of hell, from in between, there goes It Was a Good Day, and Queen Beach battles on from the outside. But it was a good day in the final 100, trying to hold them off, but it's not over till it's over. It's Queen Beach who takes it over. It Was a Good Day and Desert Eagle.
Yeah, I sped up mine just a tiny bit, and it seemed to be right on track. That was a pretty good race, too.
Yeah,
Exciting.
so the thing I can tell you is keep a separate window open, all right, on the main racing page, and keep that full screen. Don't even mess with that.
Oh. Okay. Got you. So whatever race
Because,
we're
yeah,
gonna look
it's
at.
something when we go into the, Sorry, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, sorry. Yeah, it's something, man, when we go into the race, if you full screen it, it restarts the whole feed now.
Ooh. All right, we'll try it like that. I got this next race that I'm in, the Deep Dish Club Stakes. It starts in 4 minutes. I got that pulled up on one tab's full screen, so hopefully that'll work. We'll check out this race too, because since I'm in it, so I'm a little biased here. If there's any particular races that you guys in the chat are in, let me know so we can make sure that we call that race. This one is the Deep Dish Club Stakes, a 7 furlong, and it's got a packed field, all 8 horses. I think 8 was the limit on this one. This is my horse Swamp Thing. This is the one that I have the ticket for. This is my legit horse, the one that I'll have whenever the whole game resets and we go live. I'm probably gonna try to name him Swamp Thing again. I like that name. It's from I got it from Con Air. I'll just watch that the other day with my son, and I always liked the guy Swamp Thing because he could fly any plane or drive any vehicle. So that's what I named my horse, Swamp Thing. And we got Country Legend from Big Brain Stables. We got Impetus from D Stables. Tell Me I'm Pretty from Bandito Stables. We got Danzig's Halloween from Groove Summer. Cool and Horny from Original Gangster, and Proper Cowboy from RVA Racing, and Def Banks from Grape Syndicate. Let's see who the favorite is. Looks like it might be Def Banks here at 4.25. And my horse is at 19. Oh, that's not good. The reason why I picked this race out for him is because I've only ran him twice so far. And it was at 4 furlongs and at 5 furlongs. And I saw that he got his biggest boost at the mid on both of those. So I feel like he needs to stretch out a little bit longer, right?
Correct. But again, there is some variance and things you want to look at too. So you really got to run, in my opinion, run them 2 or 3 times at the same type of track and see exactly how much of a variance, how much of a difference you're getting from top to bottom. 'Cause, I mean, that could have been his worst run. You know what I mean? So
Right, and he could
it's
have
definitely a good, right? It's a good starting point though to kind of dive in.
And you got to keep in mind, you got to look at some of the times too on those, and of course keep in mind if they're holding any weight and what the track, the surface was, if it rained or not. But there was a point that I was going to get to about keeping something important there in mind. Oh, brother. Oh, yeah, with their competition. It could be racing against a horse that ends up being like a superstar horse in its first or second race. Things like that happen. Like you get second place and you're like, oh, this horse didn't even win that race, but you never know that horse that went against might end up being a horse that's winning Grade 1 races in the future.
Right, same thing as in real life, right? If you ever read like a past performance book or anything, you know, if you see like a claiming race where a horse was running, you know, Grade 3 stakes races for 75K, and now they're down running like a 10K claiming, 15K claimer, you know, that might be a good horse to put some money on because it's like he's used to running against better competition. He might smoke whoever he's up against, and if you catch a good, catch a good price, even better.
Yeah, that's one way that I pick out horses to bet on for sure. I'm always looking at what they ran at recently, the stakes, how much it was worth compared to the race they're in now, if they're going up or down in class. All right, guys, we got a minute before this race begins. My money is on my horse, of course, but it's 19-1 odds, so this one might not end up winning. What's up, Michael Diggs? Just bought a horse for 200K. Let's go. Congratulations. I've been seeing them on the marketplace for around that price. A couple of for 300K here. But with it being Foes Day and a lot of horses being bred, we're hoping that we're going to see a lot more horses hit the marketplace today. And of course, whenever I'm able to breed and I have more horses to breed out, I have more to give out to you guys. Maybe we'll have contests for them if we don't have a ton. But some of the people in the community who are watching the live stream might end up having extra horses to give out too during these live streams. So make sure you're hanging out if you want to be a part of this so you can pick up one of those horses. What's up, David Chapman? Anyone here needs your first beta horse to race? There you go, guys. If anybody needs a horse to race, that's your man, David Chapman. All right, we're going to try it this time with a second tab like you suggested. Mo, let me hit this bugle and see if this works. Good luck for everybody in this race.
Fingers crossed. Good evening, race fans. It's Foals Day. Horses are in the gate. 8 in the gate, locked and loaded. And they're running here in the Deep Dish Club Stakes. From the rail, there goes Country Legend, who shoots out to the lead in front of Proper Cowboy and Swamp Thing. And in fourth, that's Death Banks in the pink, followed by Impetuous and Cool and Horny. Don't tell Mom, but I'm in sixth, about 10 lengths off the leader as they make their way around the opening turn. And they got a short break between them here as the opening quarter was 23 and change. Country Legend shows the way by 3 now over Proper Cowboy, who stalks here off the rail. Swamp Thing, the Vault Legend himself, now also runs in third with about 4 to make up. And it's Death Banks, who just buys his time with a swift breeze 2 wide. And Danzig's Halloween in fifth, and Tell Me I'm Pretty runs along in sixth and starts to make a move here as they make their way into the far turn. Ran to happen 46 and change, and we got a new leader. It's Proper Cowboy, hee-haw, over at Country Legend, and about 5 now, shakes them open. Swamp Thing also is finding their best stride late here as they make their way around the far turn. Tell Me I'm Pretty also has a shot today, and Danzig Halloween, as they hit the top and stretch for home. It's Proper Cowboy, but he's got company. Country Legend and Death Banks on the outside, 6 wide. It's Death Banks now with a nose, and up the middle, here comes Tell Me I'm Pretty, Tell Me I'm Something. Tell Me I'm the winner. No, not today. It's gonna be Proper Cowboy. Giddy up over Tell Me I'm Pretty and Death Banks.
And shout out to Swamp Thing, still running out there. He'll be at the finish line at some point. He got dead last. Michael Diggs is in the Deep Dish Club Stakes. Your horse is Bronco. All right, we got to check that out for sure at 7:15. Is that the one we just watched?
That was a sync on that, by the way.
Yeah, that's the one you just watched. Sync was perfect on it.
Good,
if
okay.
I'm not
So,
mistaken.
yes.
Yeah. Which horse was yours? That's the one we just watched, Michael Diggs. It is your horse Bronco. Let me see if I can find that horse. My races, Hemlocks. Oh, that's the wrong one. Sorry. I wanted to see if I could find his horse real quick. I don't know. I didn't see it in there. Bronco. Or maybe you didn't get in time. Let me know. We still can get into some of these races. I got another race coming up, I think around 8 o'clock. Let's go back to these races and I can check to see where the next race is in 8 minutes. We got a Long Song Restricted Stakes with only 5 horses in it. We'll check to see if any of the homies are in that race. And then I've got one at 8:54 right at the end of the night. I'm going to be running my horse, what's his name? Cheesy Hair in the Hemlock Restricted Stakes. Dig says Memorial Restricted Stakes. That's the race he's in. The Memorial Restricted Stakes. Oh, that's coming up in actually in about, oh, that's some math, 18 minutes. I might go ahead and put a bet on your horse. We can show guys how to bet. My man Mo's got his horse in here. Rainmaker's in this race coming up. There's your Diggstown horse. That's the Bronco. He's got an A for the ranking. That's not bad. Maybe he's got a chance. The odds are 10 to 1. Let's put 1,000 on him. The bets are open. If you want to wager, you go to this race during the time period where you're allowed to place wagers, which is kind of a short period. It's like, we'll go check exactly to see what it is. Like 10 minutes before.
Well, I think it opens 20 minutes before the race, like real horse racing, and then it closes 10 minutes before the race goes off.
Gotcha.
If I'm not mistaken.
That's not.
I think they might be looking to open that window, but I guess in real horse racing you could put it in beforehand, but the odds don't actually go up. The odds board doesn't actually go up until 20 minutes before post time, though.
Oh, I see. And I know you can definitely bet at the last second in real horses too. Gate 10.
Yeah, no, that's something I don't know if they could actually work that here.
Nah, that'd be.
I feel like that could be manipulated in so many ways. It may not have to be 10 minutes. Maybe it could be like 2 minutes, like a 2-minute warning.
True.
But yeah, I wonder with transactions and how everything's going to be tracked. You know what I mean?
Yep.
If that could become a problem. So.
All right. So one of the things we wanted to talk about today. Let me go ahead and mute my phone real quick. Had it up on sound for some reason. Was finding the right race to enter your horse in. I know, Mo, you're more into this than I am. Let's talk about this Swamp Thing horse that I just raced. It's got three races under its belt now. Maybe you can talk to me about figuring out the best race to put it into next.
Funny, because I actually just brought this up. See, guys, this is why we do this, chat. We're in tune. We're in sync, baby. We didn't even plan that. Unscripted. I actually had Swamp Thing up because it's perfect time after the race to be like, why the hell did I take last place, right? Let's do some post-race analysis here. Now, again, I don't own top-class horses, so a lot of times for me, I feel like I just race out of my element more than anything else. Like, I don't belong in a grade 2 or a grade 3 even. I should probably be racing, allowance races, small handicap races, So, that being said, you went from running a maiden into a stakes race without even breaking your maiden, right?
Right.
That's first and foremost. You did have some good competition in that stakes race as well. Everybody was holding 4 pounds in that race, so it's not like you had an advantage over anybody. That's something we could look at too. But ideally, I would think you haven't run this horse yet on a 2-turn. Right? You ran it 5, then 4, then 7.
Right.
So now, what I would probably try to look at is maybe getting into like an 8-9 or a 10, with a 20% chance of rain or a 0% chance of rain. That would be my first guess. Get it to an 8-9 or a 10, then try maybe, like I said, or a 10 or 11 or 12. Ideally, you would think that it would be bracketed into 3, right? So it'd be 4, 5, 6 of sprinters, 7, 8, 9, and then 10, 11, 12 of your routers. But it's not really like that because a 7-furlong race in this game comes out of a chute and there's only 1 turn. So I don't really know how they consider that, if it's the distance of the race or is it the turning. Because in real life, it's the turning more than the actual running. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So we will need clarification on that. But
now,
just going on what I see,
is there a cornering attribute that we should know about?
Not that I can tell, but if you look at your stats on the horse and then watch the race and see when does that 104 mid-move kick in, right? Not in the 7-furlong race, but in your the 4-furlong and the 5-furlong, you actually made a 104 move at the mid, right? So that would be something I'd look at. Like, what point in the race did he kick that move in? And then I would run, like a 8, 9, or a 10 coming up here next and see when does he make that move, what's my middle speed rating, what's my late rating, But it's really going to come down to just figuring out what kind of horse do you have. We probably don't own grade 3 runners. Sometimes you got to be honest with yourself. But I think we could definitely find room like allowance races or, even claiming races down the road. So.
And maiden races too. I always seem to do really well in maiden races, of course, because this is against horses that haven't won a race yet. So if you haven't broken your maiden yet, then it's probably smart to stay in the maiden races while you're testing out distances and find the one that you hit on. But then don't, of course, take that one to the bank because, again, you're going against horses that have never won before. So that just gives you a little bit more data.
Right, but we also have an advantage in this game where if you were to look at a race in like a past performance book, right, for like OTB or Churchill Downs or whatever, you're only going to see the stats that were printed in that book on that day, right? They don't update after the fact. In this game, however, if you go back to your first race, that's when you raced to me, right? You could always look at the competition of your horses, of your competition.
True.
So, you got beat by me, and then look, now that horse is 2, 2, and 1 out of 8 races, right? So that Gronkowski horse has been working out.
That's a good point.
But, you whooped everybody else's ass in that race. Not that those horses have gone on to... Yeah. Right, not that they've gone on to do anything, but, at least you were whooping somebody's ass. And you just kind of go through the races, man, like I said, and check the competition, check the distances, take those numbers,
Yeah, this might end up being a sprinter, or it could even end up being a distance runner. Right now, I'm kind of leaning toward it end up being a sprinter because it has that one move that it makes. Seems to be at like the 5 furlong. Was it like the 5 or 6 furlong mark during last 7 furlong race? But then again, it might make another move late if I run it long. So I'm definitely going to be testing it out at different distances. Now I have this other horse, Cheesy Hair. It's got a lot of races that it's ran so far. Maybe it is a S-tier horse. Mo, maybe you can look this one over before we get to the next race and let me know what you think and why you think that way to give the chat a little bit more information on how you decide which races to put your horses in.
Yeah, let me bring up the cheesy hair here real quick.
Cheesy Hair's got 17 races with 2 wins, 6 second places, and 2 third places. So placed 10 out of 17 times, more than 50%. Largest prize payout was 20,000, which is not bad.
Right. So things to remember when you're looking at horses, right? Because some of the data is going to be skewed here. Um, if you're running an S horse, they're always going to have a base, a baseline stat is going to be way higher than like an A and definitely a B. So even though this is an S-class horse, what's the overall record? 2, 6, and 2 out of 17. So he's placed in more than 50% of the time. At 20% payout, largest prize payout, that's a nice payout. I'd probably go back and look at that race there, right? But that is a real deal horse. I mean, again, look at the Summit Memorial. All right, that's a grade 2 race. That's a grade 2, man. That's a big race.
Summit Memorial. Oh yeah, I see it right here, grade 2. Yeah.
Look at who we beat. It was a firm track, so we caught the best condition possible. I don't know. We're not sending this horse to the glue factory, J-Money. Definitely not going to the glue factory, but I would have to have 10 jobs at the glue factory to probably afford that horse ticket. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's not one that I'm going to have whenever this thing goes live unless I get lucky and snipe it off the market again, which is highly unlikely. Let's look at that race where he won 20,000, the Crown Prep Sprint Series. So I feel like it's a sprinter, right? It's got its biggest wins at 5 furlongs and 6 furlongs, but I've been running it at different distances and getting different ratings for it. Let's see, whenever I run it long, it gets that 93 still late. It got second out of 12 in this Crown Prep Sprint Series here. It was 11 furlong. I don't know why they call it a sprint series. But there were other races where he gets a lot of 4th, 7th, seconds. I want to be getting first every time. You think I should run them at, should I pick one distance and keep running them at that 5 or 6 distance, or should I try to keep running them at 11 every once in a while to see if he can finish top 1, top 2, top 3 in those races?
Sorry, say that one more time. My cat is going crazy right now.
Oh no, why don't you go give him some love or something? Pet him. Pet your cat, man. Don't worry about the horses. Pet the cats. The cats are real. BD Hitter says, everyone pick your favorite and wager on this upcoming race. Let's see what it is. The R2. Betting is open. You mean the Degen, Money Maiden. All right, we can bet on this race. Michael Diggs says, what does S stand for? Mo, do you want to kind of explain that, the tier system on the ratings?
Yeah, and real quick before we go into that, the betting, that's something that you had a problem with last night, Vault, and I did go back and watch the stream, and I noticed it. The betting right now is going to be a little skewed because we don't really have the liquidity. So yeah, like B. Hender said, we really do need the bets to start going up to kind of make the payouts worth it. Because yeah, you're barely getting paid back your money sometimes, and they're not taking like a rake if it's less than what you originally bet, just to kind of be cool right now. But yeah, we do need to start having more people bet and see what the prize pools would look like, or the wagering pools rather. So that's just first and foremost. Second of all, yeah, so the S class is going to be your highest right now, so it's your S plus and the S minus, then we move down to an A plus, A minus, then down to a B plus. But those tiers of horses, if you're running like an A against an S, even if the S has like low preferences, low boosts, low everything, compared to like an A horse ticket, who might have mediocre boosts and mediocre stats, that S horse will more than likely still win, because an S temper is going to be better than like an A plus temper. Still, at the end of the day, there might be people who dispute me on that. Again, I might be mo guesses on this thing here, but this is just my own research, my own data. We don't have an API to tap into. I just grab data by hand and run spreadsheets and all that stuff. So this is just my stuff. If anybody ever want to dispute it, want to talk about it, we can, obviously. So that's kind of how I see it, the breakdown of the whole top to bottom right now.
Yeah, and Michael Diggs, if you look at a retired horse, like this one is a B plus, you can see those ratings across the different categories like Mo was talking about. You got start speed, stamina, finish, heart, and temper. And those exist for the other horses that I have in my stable as well, but they're hidden. When you're racing your horse, you can't see those stats. You won't know until they're retired. Once they're retired, you get to see what they are. And of course, if you have like in the S start and the S speed, your best chances of getting a good horse out of that is to breed it with a horse that has S start and S speed. Of course, you know, other people might try different strategies. Maybe they want to mix it up to get a horse that can finish well also, but I'm always trying to focus in on the best stats and try to breed my horses with other horses that have those as their best stats as well. BD Henderson, can you take my money? Oh no, I bet it on my homie. Alejandro's got a horse in here, and I also like that it has some of the best preferences on the left turf soft compared to all the other horses. It's the B+, so it's kind of a long shot. You said to bet on this race, so I did it. I bet on my man Alejandro Shake 'em Up, and we watched Shake 'em Up race last night. He didn't do much, so that means he's got a little energy left over for tonight. I hope so anyway. BD Henderson.
Well, I owe Alejandro a do-over on Shake 'em Up. That was a horse that I bought early on in the market.
Really?
Before I sold my entire Rainmaker collection. But yeah, I do got to get Alejandro a better horse. A lot of people still, you know, like, get everybody some A horses at least, just to kind of give somebody a reasonable idea of what they might be working with.
So BD Henderson is getting a little bit of information here on the wagers. We'll look at this Sunmane commemorative grade 2 coming up with only 4 horses in it. And if you look at the wagers, I think this is what he's talking about. You can check to see the wager pools. And we were looking at that a little bit. Mo pointed that out yesterday too. I didn't check that whenever I was doing my betting a second ago. I wonder if you can still look at that. Probably not. Well, maybe you can. Let's find out. And then you can see what how much other people have bet on this race. Here we go. So we got 2,000 on number 4. That was me. And then I guess BD Henders is the one that bet 100 on the number 5 horse. Let's see which horse that is. Granddaddy Puff. All right, so we're definitely going to watch that race to see if our bets come in. And then we got a race before that I bet on as well. Comes up in 4 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and full screen this so that we don't have any lag. And then we'll look at what we're talking about on this screen right here. It was only you and me, I think, and yours was way more. So that put the odds up. As you saw, I think that horse was, well, I can't remember what the odds were before I bet. Probably would have been smart to look at it. But I know the odds changed afterwards, and it went all the way to 7.24. This was like a 20 to 1, 10 to 1 horse. Maybe it wasn't that much, but it definitely changed afterwards.
Yeah, and it's something too we can look at. I mean, could even run a poll. But I am curious who is gambling, because think about it, right? Right now it's monopoly money, so it's kind of a blessing and a curse. It's like, it's fake money, we can just bet it all. But then you do, and you're like, well, shit. Now I can't buy a horse. Now I can't breed a horse. Now I'm screwed. I got to wait till next week, you know, for third-time games to give me my allowance, you know, 50K. But I just wonder how many people are actually, you know, not able to gamble because they just blew all their money early on, you know, horses and stuff like that. Which is why I try to give people cheap horses, even though I spend 50K Derby, and I'll be like, yo, just send me, or I'll just put up for 5 or 10K and tell them to snipe it real quick. You know, I don't care if I take the loss, but I just want to make sure people are getting horses too.
Well, at this point, most of the horses on the marketplace cost almost 200,000, 300,000, so they might be spending a lot to get a horse, because that's how much it costs to get, unless you're keeping your eye on the market and sniping them for cheap. What's up, Mr. Planet Prophet? Thank you, my man, for stopping by. Much appreciated. We're going to look at this one and see if anybody had bet on this one. No bets yet on this Liberty Allowance. And there was something else I wanted to check out, but I forgot what it was. But before this race, or after this race happens, we need to find a stud, a mate for my mare. I do want to breed this mare. I haven't bred it yet, but I'm going to have Knowz help me pick out the best horse to breed it with. All right, let's go to the races. We got two.
We're going to do the Memorial Restricted Stage, right? We're going to call that one?
Yes, sir. Starts in 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yep. All right.
Oh, no, it's your favorite horse again. The Alaskan Thunder horse is in this one.
Yeah. Maybe we'll leave out the...
Hey, that's on you, bro. You're the caller.
Yeah.
And then we got D-Hope from D-Stables. We got Cheesy Tortilla from Cheese Racing. The Boss Man from Charlie Work. I don't think I've seen that stable before. Grey Nomad from Brown Racing. Spotlight Seeker from Black Type Stables. We got Night Night from Smup Legends. We got the Rainmaker in this one. That's Mo's horse from Bigfoot Stables. We got XJ13 from Bandito. And my man Michael Diggs' horse is in this one. Bronco. I think that's the horse I bet on. Did I bet on this race? I think I did bet on your race, didn't I? Let's find out. Wagers. Yeah, Bronco 1000. Come on, Bronco. I need you to come through here. Let's see what I would win on that. At least 10 to 1. I would not mind taking home 10,000 today with a surprise win from my man Michael Diggs. This race will be starting in about a minute and 35 seconds. BD Hinder says the first day there was a ton of betting, so it was awesome, but I think they were just trying it out. It's been slowing down now. Yeah, so there's not going to be as big as payouts if people aren't betting. BD Hinder says we just have to all go in together and decide to do it on certain races to make it more fair and fun. Most likely people are going to be are all going to be betting on the grade 1s and the grade 2s and the special events. So at least those will have big payouts for people that are betting. Don't you expect that to happen, Mo?
You know, as someone who normally goes against the grain, I'm actually gonna be looking for those weird claiming allowance races where people just haven't raced their horses properly, and see if I can capitalize on maybe a decent price or something. That's kind of the angle I'll be taking. I think. Maybe.
Even for me, somebody who goes to Churchill Downs and bets on horses and loves horse racing, I really don't understand how the claiming works. You might have to explain that to us. I know this race is going to start in about 40 seconds. I know it's some type of race, and at the end of the race, you can somehow buy the horse that was racing. Yeah, we're definitely going to need more info about that, and also to find out if that's an option that's even available yet. I guess that's coming in when the game goes live. It's not in this beta version, is it?
Right. So in claiming races in real life, you actually put the claim in before the race, and then if the horse wins, you actually collect the money from that race as well. So sometimes you can even get paid off your investment right away. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Not sure how they're going to work it in PFL when the claim. I'd imagine it's the same, but we'll have to wait for more information.
All right, guys. Good luck
Post
if you're in
time.
this race. Here we go.
Alrighty, the horses are at the gate. It's post time. Here on Night at the Races with Vault and Mo on Photo Finish Live. 10-horse field, they're locked and loaded. And they're rolling in the Memorial Restricted Stakes. Night darts out like in the middle and heads out to the lead over D Hope from the inside. And third, that's no favorites here, is My Rainmaker, and it's XJ13 who runs along in fourth. Then comes Alaskan Thunder Boop in fifth, followed by Digstown runner in sixth here as they make their way into the first and only turn. 22 and change for the opening quarter as the Hope continues to show the way, but here comes Rainmaker pouring it on and applying pressure. And it's Night who also looks for room and now comes off the rail. Alaskan Thunder Beat is now also looking for room, and Rainmaker's the one to catch. Top of the stretch and they head for home. It's Rainmaker is Rain Sucker as he drops out of it, and Night goes right to the lead, and Spotlight Seeker also looking for room. Up the rail, it's Cheesy Tortilla. Ooh, make it a combo. It's Cheesy Tortilla over Night and Bossman. What a race. What a country.
Man, that race was wild. Yeah, that was a close one. I thought maybe even Alejandro's horse was going to get in there for a second there, even though he was the long shot. But was it Night that came through and got the win? I know Rainmaker had a nice run too. No, it was Cheesy Tortilla. Night took second from Smup Legends, and then Bossman with third place. Shout out to Cheesy Tortilla with the win. Congratulations. Let's get set up for the next race. I know we got some bets on the next race. The DGen Money Maiden starting up in looks like 1 minute and 7 seconds. Let me get that pulled up so we can go over the horses in this race. See if we got any homies in this one. We got Cheese Racing is back with Cheesy Pin 2. We got Lieutenant Swift Puff from Soulmate Stables. I from Brown Racing. Alejandro's back with the Shake 'em Up. Okay, that's the Alejandro horse I bet on. That was Diggs' horse that I bet on. Michael Diggs is number 10 horse. This is Alejandro's Shake 'em Up. We got Strain Stables. Granddaddy Puff is the name of the horse. And my favorite horse in the game, Indiana. I didn't know there was a horse named Indiana. I wish I owned a horse named Indiana. Indiana from D Stables with a B+ rating. Maybe Indiana will come through with the win for us Hoosiers. But we got one of the homies in this race for sure. Shake 'em Up is in here. And I know that BD Hinders bet on Granddaddy Puff. Is that your horse, BD Hinders? Or what? Let me know what your stable name is so that if you win a race, I can use my chat winner graphic that I made. You gotta use it for something, right? All right, guys. Good luck, everybody, in this race. Here we go.
Don't worry, Vault. Your day will come, buddy. Your day will come. Alright, the horses are at the gate. It's post time here on Photo Finish Live. Big Source Field. And they're off and running here in the D-Gen Money Maiden. Shake 'em Up runs out to the lead from the inside, followed by I and Granddaddy Puff. And in fourth, that's Cheesy Pin 2, and Lieutenant Swift Puff runs along in fifth, followed by Indiana, who runs along in sixth here with about 8 lengths to make up. As they make their way into the first turn, it's all chasing the Alejandro runner. Shake 'em Up in the opening quarter was 23 and change, and it's Shake 'em Up shows the way by a length over I. Then it's a break of 4, that's Cheesy Pin 2, and Granddaddy Puff not too far off of that. Indiana's not wasting any time here and gets going as they now move off the turn and make their way into the backstretch. And on the backstretch, you know what that means, folks. It's time for a backstretch bits, and today we're joined by, hey, it's me, your old pal Rodney Dangerfield. Shake 'em Up. Look at this. Last time I was ridden something like that, there was a restraining order at the end of it. Hey, if my wife is looking for me, tell her I'm in the toilet, huh? Shake 'em Up as he hits the turn. Lieutenant Swift Puff, 2 on the lead, and I, Captain, hey, get your hands off my wife, will ya? As Cheesy Pin pops it up on the outside. Oh boy, we got a good one here, folks. Cheesy Pin now, over Lieutenant Swift Puff. Oh man, I'm gonna have a heart attack out here, Jesus. And Granddaddy Puff over Cheesy Pin, but it's Lieutenant Swift Puff. Oh boy, I tell you. And there's 100 meters to go here. It's Lieutenant Swift Puff. Oh boy, what a race. 215. Ooh.
That guy gets no respect. Shout out
No
to
respect.
No respect whatsoever. Shout out to Rodney Dangerfield. We always have the best guest appearances for you guys at night at the races. You never know who's going to show up. Shout out to the winner there. It was?
Not gonna lie, I actually almost passed out.
I know you were. I just could tell you were kind of struggling there at the end. I didn't know if you were going to make it. You all right there? You all right there?
Yeah, no, I'm good. It's freaking hot in here, man.
Shout out to Soulmate Stables with the win there with Lieutenant Swift Puff. And shout out to Alejandro was in that race. Your horse started off really, really well, but ended off bad. So I'm thinking maybe it's going to be racing in shorter distances and getting better results for you. We got a couple more races coming up. This one's in 2 minutes. It's only 4 races. Let's see if anybody we know is in here. I don't think so. So we might skip that one and check out the next one, City and Garden Maiden. And I'm checking it out, see if I notice anybody. I don't know. We got True Stoner in this one. He's got Heavy Hoop. So we'll probably watch that race. Before we get on to the next topic, Mo, can you let me know about claiming races one more time when it comes to Photo Finish Live? Is that something that's already available or something that they plan on adding for sure, or that it's just speculation that they might add it one day?
Well, it's not available yet, but they are going to be there. They already said that. As far as the format of how it would work, I'd imagine they're going to, again, simulate, real-life racing, which would mean you put the claim in before the race and, pray that you saw something that the original owner didn't.
Are those going to be, like, you think, expensive horses? Would they be more that way, or would they cost more in the marketplace? Or it could go either way.
I think, yeah, they could go either way. I think... Now, again, this is something I would like to get some clarification on, because what are we talking, right? Are we talking that the bottom barrel claiming races are going to be... Right now, we only have B horses at the lowest, right? B minus. But essentially, if they bred down and got bad breeds, they would turn into C horses, and eventually we'll get D racers as well. So at that point, if we're using like a B horse right now as like a baseline price, what are we talking for a claiming race, right? Are we talking like $50 to claim the horse? Are we talking 100? I think the economy would kind of dictate that too, as well as the people who are in the game, the platform. But it really just depends, man. Like if it's $100, I get to claim a B plus or an A minus or something like that. But
yeah, it depends on the horse. I see what you're saying. It makes a lot of sense. Alejandro says that was a good race. Still getting to know his horse. And shout out to Mo for that horse. Look, Mo, he spelled it with the E too. Mo's girl got on me for spelling it with the E. Man, I apologize. That's my mistake, y'all. BD Henderson says, in real horse racing, claimers are like beginner horses. Oh, okay. So they had a good article on this. I'll try to find the link. Thank you. All right, so beginner horses, so like horses that they don't expect to do very well. But like Mo said, you might see something in that horse. Maybe you're looking those stats over a little better. You're looking at the fleet ratings a little more, and you think it's worth more than what they're charging for it. They get to set their own prices, right? The people that are entering the horse into a claiming race.
Typically, no.
Okay.
Typically, like in real life, you'll have like 5,000 claimers, 10K claimers, 15K claimers. Sometimes you'll have like starter optional claimer races, starter optional allowance races. So you know what I'm saying. You can enter the race. Some horses are claimable, some aren't. There's those types of races. I don't know if we'll have those restrictions or handicaps as well available, but I mean, essentially, like I said, it depends on how much Derby is $1, right? Because if it's going to cost you $100 to claim a B minus horse, I think that might be reasonable depending on the ecosystem at that point. If there's C horses and D horses, B horses are going to hold a little more value, especially when all the S class horses have made more than 10K. They can't even race in those allowance races anymore, right? That's what I was telling you about earlier.
Yep.
You got to kind of just have a realistic approach at your horse and be like, all right, cool. You know what? Maybe my horse isn't cut out for grade 3, so I'm going to stick to allowance races. What does that mean? You're not facing S horses after a week or two because those horses are going to make more than 10 grand because they're just better. So they're going to be in the stakes races. They're going to be in the grade 3s, the grade 2s, the grade 1s, yada, yada, yada. But, they'll leave that room in the market for like these horses. So if the claiming race again is like $100 US dollar, it'll be cool. But I don't think people be out there claiming for $500, on like a B horse. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the market will dictate that again, but
Maybe if it gets really popular and there's a lot of users, then you might see something like that. And we're gonna be going over the best strategy to start this game if you're starting off with only $100, if you're starting off playing with $0, or if you're starting off with $1,000. We're gonna ask Mo the best strategies for starting off with those amounts. But let's get to this race real quick. We got a maiden coming up. Good luck to my man True Stoners in this one, and anybody else if you're in it as well.
all right. Well, I did not get a video load, so that's cool. Awkward chat.
Is it
Awkward.
not working?
Yeah, I got blank screen on this race.
All right, I'm gonna call this one. I'm just kidding. I don't call races.
Go for it, Volt. Go, do it.
I mean, all right. So we're gonna watch it. That's what, I won't really call it, but I'll let you. We'll just watch it together, and I'll talk about what's happening. This where's my man's horse at? If I knew which horse was his, I would keep an eye on that one in particular. It's probably the one in the back, the 3 horse. All right, Michaela's Fury is in the lead. Oh, we're not getting no special celebrity voices this race or nothing, y'all. Sorry. All right, let's see who wins. It's not quite as exciting with me calling it. What happened with you, Mo? You can't even refresh it?
No, it just won't load the race.
Man, Mo got kicked out of this race. No Mo. Michaela's Fury is looks like might be running away with this. We got a long way to go though. It's at 8 furlong and they're on the back stretch, and they're starting to move around a little bit. Like I've talked about with this version 1 compared to with this version 2 compared to the version 1 when we had Friday night races the last few weeks, you could definitely tell a big difference in how the races go. It's not all prejudged by how they start, because a lot of times that horse in the front never used to get past. Once it was in the front, that horse would almost always win. But now you see horses come out of nowhere, horses in the front drop off and end up falling all the way to the back. And we might see this. Oh, we remember this horse. We got Balls Deep in this race, Mo. Balls Deep is in this race.
My favorite.
He was, I think he won last night when we were watching him. He started to make a move there, but nope, I think he is wore out. Michaela's Fury might go pole to pole, wire to wire with this one. Just when I said that the horse in front always ends up falling off or getting beat, not in this case. Michaela's Fury did win it from Rinsed Out Racing, and then Sweet Puff was second, and Firewater takes third place. That is the FA of the Vault horse race, Colin. Let's go.
All
right,
10 out of 10.
Hopefully that doesn't happen again, man. I was not prepared.
Well, I think what happened there was it was another race going off live too.
Oh, I see.
So I think because I was on the main screen, when I clicked into the other one, it only wanted to give me the VOD. So
gotcha. We got another race coming up in, let's see, 3 minutes and 20 seconds. It's a 6 furlong, and the homie BD Hinders in the chat is in this one with their horse Samurai Sana. And then we got Flipper Puff from Strain Stables, Lieutenant Future Puff from Soulmate Stables, and Aquamarine from D Stables. Stoner podiums again. Oh, did Stoner get second place on that one? My bad, True Stoner. I didn't even realize it. That was, wait. You sure? Looks like you got 5th down here. Maybe I'm mistaken on something. All right, we got this one coming up in 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and the homie BD Hitters has a horse in here, so we're probably gonna check it out. Like Frog says, have you ever tried salvia? No, that's like stuff that you actually have to go to a desert and like have a whole adventure, fly to a whole nother country. I'm not doing that stuff just to. No, wait.
Yeah, man. Took some peyote, man.
Do you know anything about it, Mo? I mean, I've heard of it, but I mean, I heard.
Yeah, I know a couple things.
I mean, he is a skeleton. He probably knows a thing or two about a little bit of everything.
I grew up in the late 90s, you know what I'm saying?
Late 90s? Oh, I thought you were going to say the 70s or something. You look like an old man. You're so old your skin is falling off.
This is true, but don't let it fool you. I'm a little bit younger than that. Young buck.
All right, I'm going to get this one pulled up. BD Hinder said he wants to see it called by the Mo himself for sure, so we're definitely going to watch this race. Like I said, we got a couple things to do tonight before we end the stream. We're going to try to find a good mate for Generational Wealth, my mare here, and then we're going to talk about the best strategies for starting the game off with different amounts of money, and we might even check out some of Mo's horses and see what they're looking like. Is it easy to find a stable on here? Can you just search a stable if I wanted to find your horses and look at them, Mo?
So I could just post you my stable link.
All right, cool.
Oh, actually, that probably wouldn't work.
I'll just find one of your horses and go from there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you just click on it from there.
I can find the horse that beat me in that maiden race and click on it from there. That one's gonna be easy to find.
I put it in chat.
All right, cool. Antonio says, "What's your favorite Sega Genesis game?" I mean, I feel like if I say one an hour from now, I'm gonna remember another one and be like, "No, wait, go back," because I have a lot of them. But it's got to be Street Fighter 2 because that was the first game I got on Sega. Everybody used Ken and Blanca, but not me. I used Dhalsim, and I learned all his tricks too. I could use his Yuga Flame, Yuga Fire. I could even teleport with Dhalsim, and now that's a hard move to do too, especially on Sega Genesis. I know only like 3 people know what I'm talking about. I don't know.
Yuga Flame.
Yeah, Street Fighter 2 is pretty
Fire.
Hey, he sounds just like, dude, this voice. We're just gonna call him the voice, man. He's got a wild voice. Dhalsim just showed up in the chat, y'all. Yeah, I love Street Fighter 2, but like I said, if I think about it for a while, I'd probably come up with some other ones. Primetime Football by Deion Sanders.
Yes.
Very slept on game. That's one of the best football games for the longest time. Mo, you know that one too?
Oh, absolutely. I played that. Back then, Madden was okay, but I actually played Tecmo Super Bowl on the Genesis, and then the Primetime 94. And I'm pretty sure Primetime also turned into Troy Aikman. Or Troy Aikman turned into Primetime. It was one or the other. It was the same game, though. Same engine.
You might be right. All right, good luck, Revere Ranch, in this race. Here we go, guys.
All right, race fans. Looks like the broadcast is cooperating. And we are live here on the track. Horses are at the gate. It's post time here on Saturday Night Showdown, Saturday Night the Races, whatever the hell we're calling it. We're calling a 4-horse field here, folks. They're locked and loaded. And away they go. Awkward step by Samurai Sana, but it looks to have recovered well as Flipper Puff runs out to the lead in front of Lieutenant Future Puff. So many puffs, I don't know where to begin, but it's Aquamarine now who runs along in third, and Samurai Sana in fourth. But only about 10 to make up here as they make their way down the pond for the first time. It's Strange Stable runner in the white silks, let's call him Flipper Puff, with a 2-gain lead over Lieutenant Future Puff. Say that 3 times fast and I'll tell you it's Aquamarine in third. Then it's Samurai Sana who now is neck and neck and takes the third position from the rail. But they're all chasing Flipper Puff here as they make their way into the far turn. Puff Puff pass, and speaking of passing, there he goes. It's Lieutenant Future Puff now who opens up by 1 over Flipper Puff as they make their way up the top of the stretch and shake him up and head for home. It's Lieutenant Future Puff on the outside. Flipper Puff battles back on the inside, but Lieutenant Future Puff brought their A-game today, and he's smoking into the final 100 meters. But Flipper Puff is not at his last word yet as he fights back, and it's Lieutenant Future Puff over Flipper Puff. Jesus, I hope that never happens again. What a race.
Man, they got wild there. Puff versus Puff, and Future Puff is your winner. That Samurai Sana started to make a comeback at the end there. He was moving at the end. But we got Mo all flustered on that one. Yeah, that was a tough
I was too busy trying not to get those 2 names backwards. Holy shit.
Future Puff, Lieutenant Puff. All right, let's find out what the next race we're going to watch is, and then we're going to go try to find out who to breed my horse with. Let's see. We got a lot of horses in this one, so I'm assuming there's some homies in the chat. There's True Stoner's horse Susan, so we're gonna watch this one for sure. That's the Degen Money Maiden. What's the R's stand for? I see some R2s, some R1s, some R3s. Mo, can you tell me what that stands for?
Yeah, I think those are like the what do they call them? Like the not the qualifiers, but they're like the 10 bigger like races on the card for the day.
It's
The
like
crown
oh,
qualifiers or whatever. It's like the race series that they promote.
oh
And it'll be
okay.
like race 1, race 2, race 3 out of it. You'll see it'll start to go up in numbers. Yeah, race 4, then race 5.
Got a lot of good horses in this one too. Several S tier horses, so we'll check that one out for sure. We got a while before it starts though. It doesn't start until 8:09. Let's check the marketplace real quick, see if anything's popped up on there. Anything new? I see some new stuff, but they're all expensive. There's Broncos. My man's selling Bronco. Didn't we just race him? Michael Diggs trying to make a profit on that one. You might never know. And then we're going to talk about who to breed generational wealth with. So this is a horse that I picked up that is retired. So that means I can breed it. It's a mare, which means it's a female. So I get to keep the baby. If you have a male horse, you have to put it up for studying. You get a fee for it, but you don't get to keep the child. BD Hunter says, stayed in the screen there. Looks like we need to wait till these new super foes win some money in races and then get in the allowances races that they can't qualify or they have to carry weight for. Absolutely. True Source said I need to take a puff after that race. Puff, puff, pass. Yeah, I was going to say that too. I think Mo said it as well. Apropos for that race. All right, so let's look at our bloodline. We got these two horses, and a lot of times when I'm trying to breed a horse, I'll use two different windows. I guess we can just flip back and forth. But I'll use two different windows so I can go back and make sure I'm not inbreeding. These are the two horses that are the grandparents of this horse that I'm trying to breed. So let's go ahead and click breeding, breed this horse, and now I want to find a good match for it. So Mo, what's the way to do it?
Well, actually it takes me quite a bit of research. But you had the problem, I think we talked about it last night, right? Where you were getting a lot of matches to the grandparents,
Right, let me go
right?
ahead and sort
Or
by
the parents,
my
rather?
yeah, my preference is right turf firm because you want to match your horse up right turf firm if that's your horse, right?
Ideally, yeah. I
You,
didn't this week, but that's a different story.
you can add the preferences right here. Your filter, you click the filter, and then each filter you add one for the turn preference, one for surface, right turf firm is what I'm looking for, and then one for the condition. Then we got those three conditions up there, right turf and firm, and now we have our horses pulled up. So where do I go from here, Mo?
I mean, I would start checking, again, check the bloodline. I really, ideally, I think you're looking for 2.5 stars across the board minimum is what we really want to be at, I think. That's like the consensus. Obviously, if you can get a 3, 3, 2.5, or 3, 2.5, 3, probably better.
So I should be looking at the
Um,
stars then, not the rating.
I personally think the stars are a huge, huge factor, especially when you're getting, horses that are so similar in rating that the preferences are really going to be the thing, in my opinion, that might, tilt the scale into a win or a second place or even off the board.
I got you. Maybe I should do that then, because this one right here, it's one of the GBT horses. It has full 3 stars on the preferences, which my horse does too, but it is also an A+. There's some S minuses and some S tier horses that are available, but they don't have the full 3 stars on their preferences. Paul Helen says, what's your opinion on Neo pronoun? I don't know what a Neo pronoun. What's a Neo pronoun? A pronoun for Neo from the Matrix? I would say he's a he. Roger E says, my dad loves horse racing. Looks and sounds just like this. Yeah, this is a simulation game, not quite like some of the other horse racing games where it's, man, it looks like the real thing. If my mom was to walk in here and see this on the screen, she'd be like, she would assume that it's real. That's the real horses racing. All right,
So my mother, she's seen it, thinks it's cool, but her boyfriend actually is part owner on a horse with me.
oh,
So
nice.
yeah, so he I sent him like the race replays and stuff, and yeah, he was blown away, man. So I totally know what Roger's talking about. I know so many people that looked at again other projects and games that were like, yeah, nah, not for me. They look at this and they're like, wait, what? That's not a real race, So yeah, this is definitely going to appeal, I think, to like what Roger just said, a wider audience of people who normally just play real horses, and want to have a simulation.
Yeah, horse racing fans in particular are going to see this, especially These days, horse racing fans that are like 40 or 50, it's not like horse racing fans 20 years ago that were 40 or 50. These 40 or 50-year-olds actually played video games growing up, like we talked about earlier, so this doesn't scare them away. BD Hinder says, I agree, preference and stars are pretty important as a base. I've seen some that just go for super high on the first 2 stars and S, etc., and punt firm / soft that do well. Yeah, I hear you. So what would you do if this was your horse, Mo? Would you go with that and hit this tube tester horse, or maybe even the balloon arch horse since they have full 3 stars, or would you go with
Balloon Arch is the horse that won the Derby.
Balloon Arch?
Yeah. It was a different name because of the way that they ran with the Dow. But, yeah, Balloon Arch is the horse that won the D-Gen Derby. Tube Tester, I believe, took a third or might have won one of the undercard races, or maybe he was in the Derby too. Sorry, man. It's sometimes a blur. The fact that I know these fake horses is a whole other story. Yeah, but Balloon Arch would be, I think, anybody's, top mate. But again, I'm not going to mate with that horse because I'm keeping everything with my real ticket horses so I can test everything how I'm going to do it with real money. I don't want to be inflated or be like, oh, I got a good breed, but then, $15,000 horse bailed me out. I'm not going to be breeding with that, So.
Right, so what Mo was talking about is that he has these horses that come with horse tickets that whenever this game goes live, those horses will get reset and he'll get them once again. Some of these horses that I have, like this one we're looking at right now, Generational Wealth, is one that I bought off the marketplace with the play money, so it's not one that I'm going to have whenever the game goes live. However, I do have a A- horse, that Swamp Thing. That is a horse that I am concentrating on because it's one that I am going to have whenever the game goes live as well. F-Dog says Balloon Arch won and Tube Tester came in 3rd in the Derby. So what do you think? Should I go ahead and use Balloon Archer and try to match him up with my horse Generational Wealth?
I mean, who doesn't want the seed of a D-Gen Derby winner? Am I right?
I mean, I probably would have, personally, before we had this conversation, I probably would have picked the S-tier horse because it's the S-tier horse and it has the highest ratings on speed and finish and things like that.
Yeah, but Balloon Arch won the D-Gen Derby. Now, the thing about the D-Gen Derby, and I guess, since you say that, that was actually restricted to A+ and lower, so yeah, maybe not as strong in this ecosystem with the S horses running around. I don't know. I still think it would be cool to have a baby from that horse.
You talked me into it, Mo. You talked me into it. Generational Wealth is now impregnated with the winner's horse. So we'll see if that turns out all right. So what happens is whenever you breed a horse, is it becomes pregnant for a full season. The seasons are 1 month. Is that right, Mo?
Well, right now it's 1 week. So next
yeah.
Saturday at 7 p.m. it'll roll over to the season 7, and then when the game goes live, it's going to be 4-week rolling period for a season. So at that point, again, which is why I don't think we're going to have the problem with races not filling up early on, because people aren't going to retire these 10, 15, maybe $20,000 horses, to have nothing to do for 3 months. I could be wrong. I might be completely wrong on that, but I do think we'll have a lot more horses available to bet on. I don't know about to own and for babies early on, because that kind of goes with what I just said, right? So I think we're going to have like a weird probably a 3-month period, man, where we're getting everything rolling. So if people are interested, I know Volt, you got a ticket finally. I'm glad you did.
Yes, sir.
So if people are out there looking, even if it's a lower class horse right now, something to get involved in the project, you really don't want to get used to racing these S horses and then they flip the switch to real racing and you're like, shit.
That's kind of what happened with me on the version 1. But I do have an S tier. I was able to snipe an S tier off the market that I can race, so I kind of got that feeling back. Though he hasn't won a lot for me yet. F-Dog says it really depends on which order you want it to go in for breeding. Do you want to get the boosts as close to 9.9 first, or do you want to get a jump in global grades? I know you guys talk about the boosts a lot. I don't quite understand the boosts yet, so I'm assuming some people in the chat probably don't understand them yet either. Can you get a little more detail to explain exactly what the boosts are that you guys are always talking about?
Yeah, if you open up the Racer's Edge website.
Sure.
Like I said, you can find it on the Magic Eden ticket too, but Racer's Edge is
We want to look at horses.
Way better. Yeah.
Got some S pluses. Man, I bet that's expensive.
Oh, yeah.
All right, there's your S plus.
Yeah, so if you click on that little icon next to the price, well, you can look at it here too, I guess, yeah. So you have the S Plus up now. I'm a little delayed.
Sorry.
So S Plus, right, RDS, but you look at total boosts, and then the PFP attribute matches, right? Wow, that horse had 5 matches.
That's why I
That's
said S
crazy.
plus.
That's crazy. But yet the stats on it, actually aren't that good. But, stats that aren't that good on a S plus horse, are probably better than a S minus with good stats. I mean, it just kind of seems to be the way it is, which is why the prices are the way they are.
Yeah, let me show these profile pictures real quick. To see why you got all these matches, 5 matches, is because the profile pictures they used from Stylish Stud and Marvelous Mares both have the same background. They're both wearing the scuba diving gear. They're both the same skin tone on their horse. That's where the matches come from, and that's what give you the bonuses that make this ticket an S plus tier horse, correct?
As far as I know, yeah, for the matches, right? Because even look at those two there. I've actually never seen a 5. I don't normally look at S plus horses because I can never afford one. But
That was the first one that was there, so I clicked on it.
no, I know.
But okay, so that's where you get your bonuses from, and whenever you re-roll, I don't know, do the bonuses change? I think we were talking about that last time. Guess we're not 100% sure if the bonuses change when you re-roll.
I kind of wanted to look back through the old race night footage to see if we had a horse and maybe we saw the stats because there's no way to find them now.
True.
But I would be curious to know, like when you retired the horse now, were those stats different in V2 than from V1? I do a lot of different things throughout the day, and I talk to a lot of different people, so I don't always remember everything. But I feel like I should know that.
We got a D-Gen Money Maiden coming up in about 3 minutes. We got some homies in the chat that are in this race. Speaking of the chat,
I got the maiden coming up here. I got You Oughta Knowz coming up here. Cheesy Chair's also running, so we might want to keep an eye on that one.
Watch this race. The Rockford Maiden starts in about 40 seconds.
Yeah, I'm gonna root on You Oughta Knowz.
The Elena Morissette.
That's right.
All right, that race starts in about 30 seconds. Antonio says, "What's your favorite band?" I'm gonna go with Sublime, although Temptations. I'm an old school guy. Temptations are up there with me too, but I do love that Sublime self-titled album. Probably one of my favorite albums of all time.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll go with Sublime on that one. All right, guys. Good luck if you're in this race. Here we go.
Thank you, Paul. Nothing wrong with Sublime. I'm a Guns N' Roses guy and Metallica, Avenged Sevenfold myself. But do love me Sublime. All right. Horses are at the gate. It's post time here on Photo Finish Live. Six-horse field, they're in the gate. And they're rolling here in the Rockford Maiden. And it's You Oughta Knowz heads out from in between horses to the lead in front of Silk Song on the inside. And on the outside of them, that's Kremling who runs along in third, and Cheesy Chair 2 in fifth. And in fifth, rather, that's Digbeth Kid and the White Silks in front of H Unlimited who runs in sixth as they make their way out the chute and onto the main track here. Opening quarter in 23.803 as You Oughta Knowz continues to show the way by 2.5 over Kremling. And in the back, that's H Unlimited who gets an early stat boost here and now moves into second. And on a break of 4, that's Silk Song, who runs about 4 wide on the track in front of Digbeth Kid. And it's Cheesy Chair, the once-time mid-runner, back in 6th. And they got some making up to do, Lucy, as they head around the turn. Opening half in 47 and change. Often wonder how long You Oughta Knowz can keep this up. And we might have just found the answer, because Silk Song now goes 4 wide and challenges the leader. As Silk Song goes right to the front, as H Unlimited also found room on the rail over You Oughta Knowz, and there's 200 to go. It's Silk Song on the outside, digging in gamely, but on the inside, don't look now, it's Digbeth Kid, and he goes ahead by 2. It's Digbeth Kid over Silk Song, and H Unlimited, and You Oughta Knowz.
Digbeth got a big pump there at the end, came out of nowhere, and got a nice, exciting finish on that race. Let's see what stable that horse is from. Digbeth. Might be Michael Diggs' horse, maybe not. It's from Smup Legends. I don't know much about that that stable. I haven't seen much from it. Silk Road Stable's got second with Silk Song, and then Ache Unlimited. From the homie in the chat, BD Hinder's got third place there. Congratulations. The DGen Money Maiden is already live. I think we missed the start of that one. Yeah, I got a blank screen on that one, so we might not be able to watch that one. I think there's some homies that are in that one. That
one actually popped up for me right away. Yeah.
It's good if you want to call it. I'm out the gate right now. How about you?
Yep, out the gate, and away they go. We now join this race in progress. Technical difficulties here on Saturday night at the track, but it's Anastasia BP who has the early lead over Sour Legend on the rail. And comes Cheesy Knowz, who runs along in third, followed by Jimmy Neutron in fourth, third and fifth, and Suzanne at the Stoner's Circle is run along in sixth here as they make their way off the first turn in this 11-furlong affair. And Anastasia shows the way, and they make their way past the picnic area. Everybody wave, it's photo night, it's family night, it's Saturday night races. We've come to gamble and come to party, but it's Anastasia BP who's now with a 3-length lead over Sour Legend as they pass the grandstand and the wire for the first time. And Cheesy Knowz in between horses runs along in third. Then break of two, that's Wonderfull back in fourth, and they're really trying to mess with my tongue twisters tonight. Ninja Party Girl rallies on the outside and moves into fifth, followed by Tonkfa in sixth. 11-1, but they got about 7 to make up here, opening half in 49 and change. And now it's a duel up front, neck and neck. Anastasia BP and Sour Legend. One by one, they are making their way on to the backstretch. Anastasia BP now parties on and goes ahead by a half. And then Sour Legend, who's totally content right now, just riding the pace in second. Ninja Party Girl now also tapping on the brakes to ride in third, being passed by Jimmy Neutron on the outside, who moves up into fourth with Ninja Party Girl and Wonderfull. And there's Cheesy Knowz, who runs in sixth, now looking to get involved here, looking for room on the rail. But they're all chasing Anastasia BP and Sour Legend. Not much is going on here. And Wonderfull might have the best chance here as she starts to pull out and goes 3 wide and goes right by Anastasia. But Sour Legend now the sole leader being pressed upon by Wonderfull. Say that 3 times fast. It's Jimmy Neutron on the outside, 4 wide. Then comes Anastasia BP, the one-time leader, now is falling in the pack. Cheesy Knowz in fifth. Grognard is flying from the back of the pack as they head into the final 200. Sour Legend opens up by 2. Is bringing their A-game, digs in gamely. It's Jimmy Neutron in between. It's the final 100 as Sour Legend kicks clear over Wonderfull and Jimmy Neutron. 296 is your order of finish.
Let's go. I was pulling for Jimmy Neutron. I was hoping he would have came back and got that win. Big fan of that cartoon. Let's go Jimmy Neutron. But no, sir. He takes third place, and the winner of that race is... I feel like that takes longer to load up than usual. Didn't even show me who the winner was. But shout out to the winner of that DGen Maiden. And let's check out the chat real quick. BD Hitter says that another thing that's in Mo's favor is that handicaps add more weight to those S-class horses. So an A plus and a A carry less and can do better. Think A minus and lower all carry no weight at all. Okay, so that was that particular race. Yeah, we have to find out all the restrictions, the requirements, all the weight that people, yeah, see, this has a whole bunch of different requirements to it. The grouse allowance, and you want to keep track of that stuff and try to get your horses in the best position as possible to get good wins. BD Hinder says click on those PFPFs on Racer's Edge. I wanted to do that as well. True Stoner got last on that one. I forgot your horse was even in that race, True Stoner. I'll be honest. Ouch. It happens. It happens. All right. So what's this price? Are these prices right here? These numbers? I see 12.
I gotta wait for the stream to catch up. Yeah, so what you can do is you can go by filters, right? Well, not really. If you're not looking to buy, if you were trying to buy one, you can sort it by for sale only. But for
yeah, that was the price. $12.95 sold for these S tier horses. Dang. All right, and let me view one of these. Let me look at the filly and see how many foes they have. How did you say to do that? Click on the PFP. Okay. Oh, so these are all the foes they sire. Wow, that's a lot of horses. So these are all tickets that these PFPs created? 20.
Right, so that's why you were saying, like yesterday when you were looking, that most of the horses, I guess, you were looking at in the S horses department all had the same PFP, so that's probably why.
Oh, I got you. See, that makes sense. And also when I was breeding, I was looking, if you look at it when you pull it up, it shows your horses parents, and it also shows the other horse's parents. And I was thinking that it was just showing the other horse's parents, so I might have been looking at my own parents and saying they're all the same. But we went ahead and impregnated generational wealth. So next season we'll find out what that horse looks like, and then it'll be 2 seasons after that before we can actually start racing a new horse. So it actually 3 seasons total before you can start racing new horses that you breed. All right, before we get to the next race, and I do got another race that one of my horses is in tonight. My S-tier horse is racing tonight. I wanted to send this question over to Mo. This is kind of our main topic of the night. I want to ask Mo what his best strategies would be if he was starting this game, just getting started. And we're going to ask him about what you would do if you started the game with $0. Best strategies, what you would do if you started with $100, and the best strategy if you started this game with $1,000. So starting off, Mo, let's say we want to get into this game. We don't want to spend any money, though. What's the best way to do that?
First thing I would do, if I'm looking at this market so early on, I'm probably involved in other crypto projects. Maybe anything, HRO, something, you know. I would sell out of every project. No, not financial advice, but that's what I would do. And I would get up at least, I don't know, $300. Probably get like $300 together, and I'd buy like a decent A minus horse, you know, something again. That'll win you some races, but not going to play the great races. I don't think you can get involved for $0. I mean, right now in beta, sure. But I mean, we're talking when the game is live, right? We're not talking about Monopoly money. So, if that's the case, you're going to have at least, I don't know, some sort of barrier of entry of maybe like $50 if you just want to gamble. You can come in with $50, start gamble on horses. Maybe you know, see something in the fleet figures that you like, and then you start winning some money that way. Then maybe you could potentially buy a horse in a claiming race after winning money gambling, so you can work that aspect. I think a $0 free-to-play entry, like, I don't really think that's going to be a possibility here. I don't really think that's what they want to go for. They don't want to be like the Walmart of this whole thing. They want to be like, you know, like the Taj Mahal of like digital horse racing.
Yeah, I'm looking at the prices of some of the horses' tickets. The horse tickets on Magic Eden. There's a A- ticket here for 11.98 Solana, and that ends up being $161. You got B+ horses for 9 Solana, but you want to definitely pay attention to this before you buy one, because you got like a B+ here for 25, and the A- here is for 11.98. So even though the A- is a higher rank, the B+ is twice the price. So most likely that B+ is overpriced, unless it has some special attribute that people are paying for.
Right, or it probably has more profile attribute matches, also probably has more total boosts, probably has better preferences as well. I have a B+ horse, actually, as you ought to knows. Now, again, I know business probably being in that last race, but, you know, the horse is a B+, man. Out of like 18, 19 races, it's got like, I don't know, a couple seconds and a couple thirds, you know?
That's pretty good.
A horse I paid like $120 for, and now I can try to breed it up, you know what I'm saying, with my A filly. So
let's say you got $100. That's all you could get out of your other platforms. That's all that you're allowing yourself to spend on the game. What would you do with $100? Would you try to buy like a B+, a B- ticket, a B ticket, or would you maybe buy some Derby? Can you even buy Derby with cash and then use that Derby to get on the market instead? What do you think?
well, again, as of now, you can't buy Derby with credit card or USDC or convert anything yet. But again, if we're talking about hypothetical when the game and the platform is live, $100, I'd probably still gamble. I don't know if I buy a horse under $100. Again, I really do think the minimum price of entry for this platform is gonna have to be about $150 to $175.
That's pretty close to 100. Not bad.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of like going to be our bare bottom, you know, barrier of entry. But that's with B horses and like A minuses that people are giving away. But again, we will have, you know, C horses and D horses. Not every racetrack in the world is Churchill Downs. We do have Delta Downs. We do have the Mountaineer tracks of the world. We do have the Penn Nationals, right? We got these little rinky-dink one-turn tracks across the country. So I do hope in the end of this whole thing that we have an ecosystem that is very similar. And if that's the case, then yeah, maybe $75 to buy a seahorse to, you know, dig around on a Friday night with your buddies. You know, that might be something to do. But if you want to compete, you want to run stakes races, you want to run allowance races. I think we start to get into a higher figure, probably more in like, I mean, nowadays with the horses after they kind of flew up in price. I don't know, it's got to be like over $1,000.
Oh wow. Yeah, so
Yeah.
if you are decided that you want to spend a couple $100 and buy one of these tickets, what exactly do you look for in particular when you're picking out the ticket to buy? Which one of these ratings are most important to you, or which numbers are you trying to get to?
Well, I am a good example because when I first joined this game, I knew nothing about the profile matches. I knew nothing about the boost. I did not have Racer's Edge. And I bought my first horse. I was so excited. And the horse is trash, bottom line. And the reason why it's trash is because, it's got one ticket match, I think, and like single digit total boosts. So, it is what it is. But it got me into the community. It got me started, calling the races and beating new people. So, it's worth it. But you got to look at those profile matches. You got to look at the boosts. You know, Nowadays you can actually look at the horses, see if they've already run. If they've already run, you can go into Racer's Edge. You can go into the, website itself and look at the race history. Um, you know, there's quite a few things you can look at that I was not aware of.
All right, I'm
But
gonna
I
hit.
think, again, right now you're going to wind up paying because most of the good horses that were laying around at the floor price pretty much got snatched up. Not to say more won't go up, but I wouldn't go running there right now and buying something. I did see like a cool A minus. I think it was like 18 Solana. Honestly, if I could move assets around right now, I'd probably buy it, but not financial advice.
Yeah,
I don't have
I
18
got these
Solana.
the horse tickets that are available for sale pulled up on what's this called, Racer's Edge, and through here you can see a little bit better about how many matches each one has. Of course, there's different pluses here. Let's see if we can figure out. One of them says direction boost. One of them says track boost. One of them says condition boost, and we got one that's a B tier horse. It's only 9 Solana, but it has three of the direction boost, 2.5 of the track boost, and 2.5 of the condition boost. You think that's the type of thing we should be looking for right there?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think, especially at that lower class, we really got to start looking at like threes and twos, or at least, 2.5 for the preference boots there at the end, the last three numbers.
Yep.
Um, how much was that one? That one was nine Solana.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, again, it depends on how successful you want to be, what type of races. If you're gonna buy that horse, think you're gonna beat, that balloon arch horse that you just mated with. If you think you can beat a horse like that, probably don't buy that horse. You're just gonna be disappointed, and you're gonna be on Twitter and talking smack and whatever, right?
Yep.
But yeah, I would think I would just take a good look at the ecosystem.
Is 3.0 the highest you can get on those boosts? I'm looking around to see if I see
Correct.
anything higher. 3.0 is.
3.0. Yep.
Gotcha. Okay. So we
We
got
do have the
some.
Laurel handicap coming up in 30 seconds. I have a horse here. I think other people do as well. 10 horse field.
Oh, okay. My bad. All right, let's get the Laurel
Okay.
handicap pulled up. We got 25 seconds before it begins. I need to pull it up on a second page so that we can get on the same loop, the same timing on this one. It's got 10 horses in it. It is a 8 furlong race, and like you said, your horse Auric Goldfinger's in here. That's Mo's Bigfoot Stables, and we might have some other homies in the chat that are in this one as well. If so, good luck everybody in this race.
All right. Thank you, Vault. Great job as always, buddy. Having a good time here on Friday night races actually it's Saturday. Jeez. Horses are in the gate, 10 horse field, locked and loaded. And they're rolling here in the Laurel handicap. Let that sink in, break sharply from the rail in front of Tough Love on the outside. And comes JT's Treasure, who trots along in third in between horses. And it's Dr. No and Auric Goldfinger, who run along in fifth, followed by My Money and the Pink Silks runs along in sixth here as they make their way into the opening turn. Only about 7 lengths now separate first to sixth, and they make the opening quarter in 23 and change. It's Tough Love now, who's upset by 2 over Dr. No, who now stretches on the outside. And just like that, JT's Treasure also has early interest, and it's a 4-horse field across the track here, as Tough Love battles back from the inside, and it's Let That Sink In, who now snugs on the rail and takes the lead by a neck. Now it's Let That Sink In and Tough Love. Then it's 3 wide. Make that 4 wide. It's Dr. No and JT's Treasure, who passes him and goes right past everybody. It's JT's Treasure now with a lead by 2 over Tough Love and Dr. No. And it's a break of 3 on the outside. It's Let That Sink In and Rainbow Duck with a late entrant to the party. But Tough Love continues to show the way. 2 on the inside. That's Let That Sink In with a ground-saving trip. Might have a shot here as now, yes, he sticks a nose in front. As we hit the top of the stretch and head for home, it's Let That Sink In on the inside. 2 back, that's Tough Love, and Rainbow Duck now starts to dig in on the outside. 4 wide, anybody's race here. But Let That Sink In is trying to hold on gamely in the final 100. But watch out, here he comes from downtown. It's Smooth Bourbon over Rainbow Duck and Let That Sink In.
Everybody loves a little bit of Smooth Bourbon from Miami Nation Stables. Rainbow Duck gets 2nd place. Congratulations to the winners. Well called, Mr. Mo. And let's go back here. Let's look at your horse. What was the horse's name? Oric, do you have a ticket for that horse?
Oh, God. Yeah, unfortunately.
Was that the one you were talking about that you weren't very happy with?
Let me check.
Or is this a different horse you're not happy with?
Yeah, I'm not really happy with any of them. Let me see.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's a little handicap, and then we got the your horse.
Oh, I didn't catch my condition on that. That would explain that.
Oh,
yeah.
I see. Okay. Yeah,
It's a soft horse, and I catch a fast track with this horse every time. If you look at that horse, you'll actually see 3 back. I caught a sloppy track, which is the worst you can get, in a 9 furlong, and actually took 2nd with a real nice close. The horse does run decent numbers. It's actually I think it's more of a route runner, though. It likes the 10, 11, and 12.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
so
shows
you
really
get
good
points.
numbers on an 8 furlong race, actually. But,
Nice. All right, so the last question that we were getting into that topic before we move on to another one is, what would you do if you had $1,000? You had $1,000 you wanted to throw into this and to get started. Help us pick out a particular maybe ticket that you would buy with that 1,000, or would you buy multiple tickets? What would you do from there?
if I had $1,000,
Is that a real song? I don't believe it is.
it's a New York State lottery song. If I had $1 million, I'd be rich.
Nice.
If I had $1,000, I would first and foremost I would check the marketplace. I would look for a filly. I do think that the fillies are going to be the most beneficial thing for smaller stables to get. Mainly because, if you get something with decent stats and the genetics that can pass on, maybe you get lucky and, someone puts a decent stallion up that has a match, and you get to keep the baby. If you buy a male horse, what are you really going to do? You're going to wind up buying a male horse, you're going to put it up for stud, you're going to compete with everybody else, and, you might make a couple bucks, but you're never going to upgrade your barn doing that. So, yeah, I think if I could afford a filly or a mare for $1,000, I'd look at it. But again, it's got to be decent preferences, and I don't even think you can get a filly for that price nowadays. I'd have to look.
That's what I was noticing here on Racer's Edge, is that all these cheaper horses are all coats. Every single one. The first 2 pages, nothing but coats, and that's what F-Dog was mentioning in the chat. Someone just purchased a high boost B-tier filly because it was a filly. They paid $450 because it had the boost, and it was a filly. With the coats, you don't get to keep the offspring. With the fillies, you do. So that's the way, like F-Dog says, that's how you can start a stable right from day one and produce a bunch of foals that are going to have a good boost and good stats, and they're just going to move up from there and get better and better because you have a horse that has good boost. So it's all about getting those fillies so that you can build up your stable over time.
And I just hope whoever purchased that high boost B wasn't buying it because we were talking. I mean, again, do your own research. You know what I'm saying? This is not financial advice.
No, the
I
one
don't know
was
what the hell
looking
I'm
at
doing.
was
so.
a male. I think they're
Okay.
talking about a different one.
All right. Well, I'm just,
Because all those
I
cheaper
want to be
ones are
getting
males.
DMs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to be getting DMs about people being like, "What the hell, man?"
It's not my fault.
Yeah.
All right, we got some more races tonight. I'm in this Hemlock Restricted Stakes. We're going to check to see if any homies are in this Fortunate Dash coming up in a bit. We got Wolof in this race. Solonot Stables, Big Brain, Bandito, Golden Stables and RVA Racing. So nobody that's in the chat that I know of is in that one, so we might skip that one because I did want to look over the roadmap a little bit. I got it pulled up. And then after, let's see, is this the next one? Looks like we got a Keystone. Yeah, the Keystone Handicap betting just opened up for that one. And we got original OEB, Drop Stable Original Gangster. I don't know. We might watch that one. Depends on if you guys want to watch it. Let's look over the roadmap real quick. And I don't know if you can see this all right on your screen mode, but if you see anything in particular that you want to point out, then let me know. This is the roadmap right here, and right now we're in the beta period, Q2 through Q4 of 2022, and then 2023 you get the worldwide launch of the game itself. So the game hasn't even launched. You're super early in this one. Here they're talking about how you mate the stylish stud PFPs with the fine filly PFPs, and then you get those tickets, and the tickets are the Generation 0 horses, and there's only 4,350 total Generation 0 race horses. What's a spooky stud? It says 8 spooky studs.
That was like something for the Halloween. I think there's another one too besides spooky studs.
Interesting. All right, so this is kind of what I wanted to know about the Crown and the Derby. It says Crown is going to be the primary utility token for Photo Finish Live. There's a fixed supply of 250 million that will never grow larger. Owners of those PFP NFTs are able to earn Crown by staking at a rate that increases with the amount and rarity rankings of their NFTs. Interesting. So Crown is the sole way to license an officially sanctioned racetrack license each season to earn a cut of Derby from races. Mo, we need a track, bro. So does that mean if we can pull together our Crown, we could own a track and then receive some type of payment for horses or races on our track?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please. Let's do that. What are we going to name our track? I got to start coming up with track names. All right, the other currency in the game is called Derby. The Derby token is the in-game off-chain token that acts as a native in-game currency utilized for transactions like race entry fees, breeding new foes, and paying stud fees. Each transaction on the platform, even if represented as fiat or native cryptocurrency value, is made exclusively of Derby. So what do they mean by that? Does that mean that you can bet Solana cryptocurrency on the races? It just gets converted to Derby, or how does that work? Because you can bet real money on it.
Right, and if you notice, they specify off-chain, right? And this is something I speak about all the time, probably ad nauseum. But this game is not reliant on crypto. It's not reliant on Solana. Yeah, the horse tickets, that would be an interesting thing if Solana went away tomorrow. But they would still figure it out. They got the database. They know who owns what. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, the platform itself, which is why I'm pretty sure they go out of their way to specify off-chain, is they want people to be able to come in with their Visa cards, with their debit cards, right? They don't want people to have to go, wait, Phantom Wallet? What the hell is a Phantom Wallet? Why do I need this? Why do I got to verify this and that, right? You come on, you link your credit card, your debit card, whatever, just like you do on TBG.com or FanDuel, and that's it. You know what I mean? You buy your V-Bucks in Fortnite, you're going to come here, you're going to buy Derby. Everything's going to get converted. You know, hopefully all the work is done on their side, right? So, yeah, if you enter with Solana, hopefully it just gets converted over, right? Charge you a fee. But, yeah, I think there's a reason why this platform itself can exist without any help at all from the blockchain. And I think that's a huge, huge selling point here. Because, again, it's more of a ecosystem and a simulation more than some, you know, crypto game.
Yeah, that's better for onboarding as well, because people get scared away from stuff like that for sure. Especially at this time. Right now, crypto has a very bad reputation.
Yeah, I know people that I've talked into opening up MetaMask wallets, and guess what? They're 39 years old, and guess who has access to their recovery key? Me. Because some of them don't even use a computer. So it's like, they trust me. I'm not going to rob their shit. But, like, they'll never want to get involved in that. So the only way I can convince them to try out games or something like that is to do it for them, and then, let them just kind of walk through it. But this here, just log in, make an account. Again, when the game is live, we're talking about you'll be able just to dive in, start, betting on races, building a wallet, and eventually, buying, breeding horses.
Yep, 100%. Another feature of the roadmap is their calendar, which we were talking about, how each 4 weeks is considered a year in the game, and right now it's 1 week. It's a season, not a year, right? A season. And
correct.
It says 1 year right here. Every 4 weeks in real life ages all
Well,
horses in the ecosystem by 1 year. Okay, so I guess it is considered a season too. They consider it like a fake year, right? A season is basically a fake year.
right. Like we run the the Triple Crown races and stuff here. Like at the end of the season, yada yada yada. It resets. It's like a full calendar year usually. So
Gotcha. Okay, so they have it broken down within weeks. Week one, 3-year-old horses compete to earn a spot in the big race on Saturday, the first leg of the 3-race championship. And then on week two, they have leg 2 of a 3-race championship. They have a final leg, and they have a breeders' championship. So we don't see this stuff yet in the game, right?
no, not to my knowledge.
That looks like it's going to be pretty interesting. So they're going to have that every season. So every month you're going to have a breeders' championship, and you're going to have that three-legged race championship.
Although I do wonder if some of these like the top 10 races on the cards, like the R1 through R10, I wonder if that's part of it. It could very well be.
Yeah, they have something in their Discord server. It was live yesterday while we were live, where they were talking about, I don't remember what it was called, some type of event that they're working on. Let's see if we can look in the community news. Maybe we'll find some information about it. Yeah, the Crown Prep Weeklies. What exactly are the Crown Prep Weeklies?
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that's those races there with the parentheses of the race numbers on the race cards.
All right,
So
so
they open up. They open up like early.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like Friday. Yeah.
Gotcha. Awesome. All right, very
Which
cool.
is also why I think we had the problem with the races overlapping earlier, because I think those were normally generated races for the schedule, and then on top of that, yesterday at noon or Friday at noon, right? They posted the Crown Prep races, so that's probably why we're having some issues with the video feed there. So
Gotcha, and that's what
that'd
F-Dog
be something to
says,
look at.
too. They're pseudo derby races. And this is a calendar, like I said, if they have it where 1 month is 1 season, you can see where your horse would be able to race until it was up to age 8. At age 8, it retires and you can start breeding it, but you can actually retire your horse early. You can retire to age 1 and start breeding it right after that. Let's see. Another thing I wanted to talk about, I don't think it's going to be in this information, and I don't know a lot about it, although I did watch a long interview about it, are the suites. And I know, Mo, you know more about it. What exactly are the third time suites? How do they work, and how are they associated with photo finish?
the suites are a project from the same guys. I don't know. I haven't really dove too much into it. I do have some sweet token, again from the fantasy football tournament where I won that filly. But outside of that, yeah, I don't really know too much. That might be something good conversation to have with Fib.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I know he wants to get on and talk about that too. So, but yeah, it's another. Basically, it's like a social place to, I guess, hang out, watch sports or esports with your friends. So, I guess in a perfect environment, it would be like, hey, whoever's hanging out, members only stream or some sort of like community, you can just jump in, come into my suite. We can like have a game up on the screen. Because I mean, that's what Web3 is going towards, right? Just like in the VBverse. They're looking to bring all this content and this media front and center on demand, right? So
it's basically going to be like a VR thing where you can get into a room with somebody and watch sports events together, maybe even virtual sports events like these horse races, right?
yeah, I don't know if you'll be jumping in to watch NBA games live unless there's some sort of partnership there, because I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to just watch that stuff and share it.
You
But,
can on Big Screen, which is a whole different third-party app that I use on Oculus Quest. They have no problem. Well, I mean, yeah, all the games, any game, or any even pay-per-view, if you get on that Big Screen app, which is on Oculus Quest, just a third-party app, people will host rooms and they'll be like WWE Survivor Series. You click on it, they're watching it on the big screen, and you sit there and watch it together. So I don't know for sure if that's allowed.
Yeah, but I guarantee those people don't have a company that just did like a $3.5 billion round of stake of funding.
You're probably right.
You know what
We'll
I'm
have to
saying?
look at that. And
Like,
yeah, I want to look more into those suites too, because they look like they're really well made, and like it's something that's going to be worth a lot of money in the future.
yeah, I said they're cool. They're relatively cheap-ish right now with Solana being where it's at. Which again, there's some uneasiness there, right? But again, the team has come out, said it numerous times. They emphasize it all over the place. They're not relying on Solana for this platform and this ecosystem to take off, right? So that's not really anything to worry about. But we can take advantage of Solana being cheap. Hey, some people don't get on and raise their prices quick enough. You might get a cheaper horse, But most people do value the horse based on like USDC or US dollar. So if Solana tanks in half, they usually double the price. So you're not really getting that much of a deal unless someone's kind of slipping.
Gotcha. That makes sense. What's up, Talon? Thanks for hanging out with us. We're gonna be calling this next race the Keystone Handicap. It goes off in about 5 minutes. We got a horse here from the drop stable called Sao Yu. Is going to be my guess on that one. We got Bodie Motion from OEB Racing. We got What the Buck from Original Gangster. Worthless Pony from Bull Rush Barn. Great Expectations from Swift Silks Racing. And Thoroughly Tiger from the Shadow Stables. Looks like the favorite's probably going to be this S-tier horse, but not by much. It's a 3.59 morning line odds, whereas this A plus is not far behind at 4.06. Let's see if there's any wagers on this race. No wagers on this one. It's going to be a 6 furlong sprint, 20% chance of rain, and you got one soft horse. The S-tier horse is soft, and the rest are all firm. 20% chance of rain. So this one might, I didn't get a chance to bet on this one, but the S-tier, the favorite, might not end up winning this one if it doesn't rain, because it's got the soft preference. But do notice that it's only 1 star on the soft preference, so it wouldn't be affected as much. Is that right? That's just what I assume, Mo.
Yeah, but it appears, from what I've seen in my viewership, it appears that having this, for instance, What the Buck horse, even though it's an A minus, he's got 3, 2.5 firm, right?
Yeah.
So I think that really could be a huge difference maker there. Even like Worthless Pony, caught the fast track, but at Sayu, the S horse has so many things going against it, right? Didn't catch the track preference. It's carrying 8 pounds. It's actually the first time the horse has ever run a race.
True.
We might also could be something else we can look at real quick.
You may click
at
on
3
it?
minutes. Yeah, so if we click on it, go into the bloodline here, right? Start take a look. Oh, this is a Tony Rigatoni horse. We know Tony Rigatoni. So you start looking at things like this, and you can even start to bring up the parents, right? Like Tony Rigatoni has 0 preferences anywhere.
Right.
But he's an S plus horse, But he's only got 1 win out of 12 runs, right? He's on the board 50% of the time. Largest prize payout was only 1.8K. I'm not trying to trash talk Tony Rigatoni here, but maybe not the greatest horse. Even though look at the rarity on the parents too. Holy crap.
Was it this one, Bodie Motion, we were looking at? Oh no, that's a different one. It's the one with Persian Bode as the stud and Second That Emotion as the mare. This horse has 8 podiums and 9 starts, which is pretty good. So let's see. If I was betting on this race, I probably would not be betting that S tier horse because you wouldn't win very much. Well, 3.59 is not bad, but you got that soft going against the rest that are all firm. I would probably be on the What the Buck or the Bodie Motion for this race. All right, we got
this.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mo.
No, I would say, the Bold Emotion. Again, 2-year-old horse, right? Seeing its action for the first time here. That Second That Emotion horse is... It's got some numbers. Yeah, I'd probably put my money there.
What the Buck has 33 races, only won once, 5 seconds and 2/3. This Worthless Pony has 39 races. We got a couple old bucks in here. We got a couple old horses against these 2-year-olds. The 2 young fillies versus a couple of old 4-6-year-old stallions. Let's see if the youth gets the win on this one. Let me go ahead and pull it up so that we are on the same timeline when it starts and we don't have any type of lag. Boom, we're ready to go. And then we got a couple more races tonight. I still got my S-tier horse racing. And I think BD Hinders has another race going off tonight as well. So let's check this one out. Let's see who wins it. Like I said, if I'm putting my money on it, I'm going with the young filly. I'm going with Bodie Motion on this one. That's going to be my bet. But say you might end up showing up with that S-tier rating. Might end up winning there. If you're looking at these fleet ratings, Worthless Pony is the top here at 80, and Great Expectations not far behind at 79. So these might surprise us here. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with us at Saturday night at the races. It's almost time for another race. We got the Keystone Handicap Coming up, 6 furlong race. Good luck, everybody that's in this race. We'll catch you afterwards.
All right, race fans. Horses are on the track. It's post time here on Photo Finish Live, Night at the Races. Finally got it right that time. Oh yeah. 6-horse field in the gate. And they're rolling here in the Keystone Handicap as Bold Emotion gets the better of it and breaks well from the inside in front of What the Buck. And in third, that's Great Expectations and Sayu, the first-time runner in the Red Silks. Worthless Pony about 5 off the lead, falls back into 6th, passed by Thoroughly Tiger, who runs in 5th as they make their way out to shoot. And on to the backstretch for the first time here, opening quarter in 23 and change. It's What the Buck holds the way here at 7-1 over Great Expectations. And Sayu's patiently running here as his first time out's looking good, and now is tucked in on the rail and actually takes the lead by a length. Look out. First time out, doesn't know any better, but let's see how this turns out as Sayu opens up by 4 over What the Buck and Great Expectations, who runs in third. Now it's a break of 2 on the inside. It's Bold Emotion who goes right on by. And like we said, first time runner making mistakes, but it's Bold Emotion now who opens it up by 4. Bold Emotion with Great Expectations closing down on 100 meters to go. And it's coming down to the wire here, folks. And just like that, anything could happen at Night at the Races. It's Great Expectations over Bold Emotion and Worthless Pony. 5-2-4 is your order of finish.
Great Expectations out of nowhere. I thought I was going to be right, shown right with Bold Emotion, but Bold Emotion faded a little bit at the end. Great Expectations came on strong, and that S-tier horse got dead last. Swift Silks Racing with the win with Great Expectations. Bold Emotion.
We did say that. We did say that with the SO. You know?
Yep, and that S-tier was running on the wrong track surface. It was a soft horse running on a fast surface, and it ended up getting last place, even though it was going against horses with smaller ratings, less ratings. All right, guys, the next race has got my horse in it. It's let's see, it's about 8 minutes away. Let's see who all's in this one. We got RDF Gold from Charlie Work. We got Broke No Joke from Exit Strategy Racing. Offset Wolf from Agadinia Stables. Neuralink from Elon Stables. Oh no, Elon's got his own stable. The next episode from SoCal Stables. We got Cheesy Hair. That's my horse from the Vault. Jackson Smith from GBD in Wimbledon, and Sloppy Seconds from Steelheart Stables. They're all carrying the same amount of weight, 4 pounds here in this restricted stakes. I wonder what the restrictions were to enter this race. Do you know?
You can see at the top. Yeah, look at the top.
Yeah, I don't think there were any. It's called the restricted stakes. Oh, hold on. No, I don't think there were any restrictions for this one. Even though it's called the restriction.
Yeah, talk about it. They should call it the oxymoron stakes.
What's up, Dr.
Yeah,
Strange?
there actually was no.
All right, cool. So I got the fastest horse in my opinion in this one because it's an S-tier horse. We got a right dirt firm horse. I'm seeing a lot of different left dirt soft in this one. We got some right dirt softs, but it is 20% chance of rain, so I don't expect it to rain. It looks like condition is good. It's looking sunny over here.
So you're one step down from your preferred condition, so that's not too bad. That's going to give you a decent number.
I'm one step down from my preferred condition. What do you mean?
Right, because you prefer a firm, right? You're a right dirt firm horse.
Yeah, and it's 20% chance of rain.
Right, so the condition is good. I've never seen this condition really change from now until then, so you can pretty much assume you're going to be on a good track.
Oh, I see.
Which again, the best track you could possibly be on is firm, or fast rather, and then it goes down to good, and it's yielding. So
I think we need to make a graphic for those conditions because they're hard to figure out which ranking they are between soft, fast, and firm. Maybe we can have a graphic that we pull up on the screen when we're talking about that. That'd be 100%. Very helpful.
I mean, the best way to think about it is just, I mean, it kind of makes sense, but it kind of doesn't if you follow real horse racing. But, you know, if it's the worst it could be, it's sloppy, right? You can't get any worse than sloppy. So it's kind of like your wettest, then you're soft, then it's yield, then it's good, then it's firm. Like those are your 5.
And then fast, right?
Well, the firm is the fast.
Oh,
so
firm is fast? Okay, got you.
Sorry.
Didn't realize that. F Dog says S grade horses get too much weight added in handicaps to be competitive as of now. So I'm definitely going to have to keep my S tier horse out of the handicaps. But I like the races like this, the restricted stakes. It's carrying some weight, but it's carrying the same amount of weight as all the other horses. I haven't seen a whole lot of action on the marketplace, which I was kind of expecting since it's Foes Day. When do you think people are going to start listing the horses en masse for cheaper prices on the market, Mo?
I would think we'll start to see some things trickle in this week. Again, we have people racing new horses, testing bloodlines, whatever, testing the breeding algorithm, and then they might wind up unloading them to help the community. At least I hope that's what some people do. Maybe people are holding them to hit up people like me and you to make sure they get into the hands of the people that are looking for horses, which is why I tell people, hit us up on Twitter, on Bolt's Discord, join the Photo Finish Live Discord. There are ways to get the horses, so you might not see people throwing them up willy-nilly on the market, just because, again, some of the bigger barns are trying to help us out and everybody else out. So,
gotcha. That's pretty awesome, too. All right, so we got 2 more races tonight. We got my race that starts in 4 minutes. I got my S-tier horse on that. And then we got one more race, the Grand Pacific Allowance, a 7 furlong race. And we got Luke, NY Digital Racing, OEB. We got Coffee Stables is back from V1. And then we got True Stoner's Horse Starter, which I think got a win. Maybe didn't get a win, but it was definitely racing last night. I had a decent showing last night. And this other stable called Omi Stables. Have we heard of Omi Stables? I feel like it's VB associated if it's called Omi Stables, but I've never seen that stable before.
Me neither. And like I said, I usually watch every race all day, every day. So.
Oh, it must be somebody in the chat. Is that you, Dr. Strange? Is it Daniel Marquez? One of the Omi homies just is about to race their first race, I do believe. I could be wrong. Maybe it's their initials is OMI. Their name's Oscar Michael Isaacs or something. All right, let's get this set up. Like I said, this is the race that I'm in. It's 9 furlongs. Condition is good. We got 3 minutes, and I'm hoping for a big finish here. I haven't won with this horse yet. It does have 2 wins in its career. Let's see how I've done with it. I think I've raced it 2 times. I've gotten a 2nd and a 4th place. I've tried it at 9 furlongs both times. And this one is also at 9 furlongs. I'm keep running at 9 because that's when it gets that late boost, it seems like. I'm looking at some of the stuff like the 11 furlongs. It still gets a late boost at 11. So I'm kind of testing it out. Looks like no matter what distance I'm at, it gets a late boost besides maybe 4 furlongs. So I'm assuming this is a horse that should be running between 9 to 12. Just going off of that right there, the fleet ratings. Tucson.
Yeah, I mean.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you run some really big speed figures. Even at like 12 furlongs, he's running like 88. And that was a grade 2 race. I mean, he took 4th, but the horses he got beat by were really good horses too.
Is that Diner handicap?
I was actually going further back, I think, to the Manor Trophy.
Whoops, and that's actually a mare, a female horse. So I'm going to be able to, I mean, technically I could go ahead and retire this horse right now and start breeding it, which I might do before the end of the breeding season.
The window. Yeah, you get to, like I said, Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday at 6 or Wednesday at 6.
Tuesday or Wednesday at 6, all right. So what do you think? Is that what you would do, is go ahead and retire this horse and start breeding it?
Well, I mean, that's something I wanted to ask you too. I'll kind of flip the table, right? Like, getting into this, like, where do you see yourself like going? Are you just looking to mess around right now with free stuff and see how far you can take it where you might want to invest? Are you happy with the 1 ticket just to kind of, play it out and see where it goes? Like, what's your mindset?
I mean, yeah, I'm just going to be trying to get mares. I'm going to be getting females like you talked about earlier and trying to breed and hope that I get one of those unicorns, or hope that I'm breeding up and not down. And if I'm doing well, if I'm seeing some good results, then that's going to make me want to invest more into it and try harder. But if I keep breeding and I keep getting duds and none of my horses are winning, then that's going to discourage me from putting more money into it, right?
Right, but you also have to look at it too, right? If you're breeding with S horses, like so my opinion for someone like you would be, find a horse that's like a horse you would actually buy a ticket for that's a female, and start breeding with your male and see how far you can take that line during the beta, right? And then at that point you can say, okay, well, this is more realistic because I'm not going to be breeding with S horses unless I have like $1,000, right? So really depends on how much you're going to be, and even then you'd be breeding and you wouldn't even get the baby because you have the male.
Right.
So again, I'm just kind of picking your brain here, just wondering where, where you're trying to take it. So
It's
I know
gonna
we
be
got 15
interesting
seconds with the race coming up.
Yeah, it's gonna just be interesting to see if I'm able to make a profit, even though it's fake money. Make a profit with horses that are A minus or A plus and not S tier horses. Good luck, everybody, in this race, including my horse. Here we go.
Alrighty. Thank you, race fans. Horses are at the gate here on Photo Finish Live with Vault and Mo. It's post time. 8 in the gate, locked and loaded. And away they go here in the Hemlock Restricted Stakes. And Sloppy Seconds dashes out to the lead from the outside in front of RDF Gold on the rail. And in between horses, that's Broke No Joke, who runs along in third in front of Cheesy Hair. Then it's Next Episode in fifth, and Neuralink runs in sixth as they make their way into the opening turn here. Small cluster here, only about 4 furlongs separate the field, make that 4 lengths. Into the first turn is still Sloppy Seconds, shows the way by 2. RDF Gold holds the rail at...
We lost you, Mo. Where'd you go, Mo?
Oh, back. Oh, man, I just hit the mute button on that. Sorry about that, folks. We are back. Sloppy Seconds shows the way. We join this race in progress. On the back stretch, it's Sloppy Seconds by a half length over Jackson Smith. And it's RDF Gold, who's on the rail in third. Cheesy Hair in fourth. The Vault Legend now showing way on the back stretch, passing everybody to take the lead. It's Cheesy Hair, 99-1. Passes for the lead of Jackson Smith and RDF Gold, who continues to show the way in third. Then it's the one-time leader, Sloppy Seconds, falls back into fourth. Next Episode continues to dig gamely on the outside in fifth. Then it's Offset Whoop and Broke No Joke in sixth. But they got about 8 to make up here as they ran 3 quarters in 113. It's Cheesy Hair and Jackson Smith duking it out neck and neck. Break of 4. That's Next Episode, who starts to get rolling. That's Broke No Joke on the rail. RDF Gold also might have a shot here today, but they hit the top of the stretch and head for home. It's Cheesy Hair who's gamely on the outside. Jackson Smith digs in on the rail and looking for room. And Next Episode with 100 to go, also with a shot, but it's going to be Cheesy Hair holding off everybody. The legend grows here in the vault. It's Cheesy Hair over Jackson Smith and Next Episode.
Hey. Might be my first win. My first win on V2, I do believe. Why did my thing not play? Ugh, weak. But yeah, let's go. Shout out to Cheesy Hair, the S-tier horse. That's because I hit the wrong one. There he is. We got a chat winner for the first time. I'm going to call my wins chat winners because I feel like that's the first chat win we got of the day. If anybody in the chat wins, let me know. We got a special graphic to play for anytime somebody in the chat wins. Thank you, True Stoner. Thank you, Dr. Strange. Let's go. We got a win today. We got one more race. We got the Grand Pacific allowance coming up next. Let me open it up on a second tab so that we're not behind like last time. I didn't do it last time, but I caught up with you, so it ended up being a good call. Let's check the horse.
Yeah, and my cat was trying to sabotage everything and hit my space bar.
Hit the mute button. I saw that. All right, so here is a 7 furlong race, the last race of the night. 80% chance of rain. It's about to get sloppy, folks. We got Wizard as the favorite from OEB Racing, a S- tier horse. We got ATVS from the Luke Stable, Rukia from New York Digital Racing, Cafe Latte from Coffee Stables. We got the Omi Stable horse, Oriheim. And then we got True Stoner's horse, Starter, a B+ horse that apparently won last night. Yeah, got first place in the Governor Maiden, broke his maiden. Is it a him? Yep, broke his maiden during last night's Friday night racing. Let's see if he can follow that up with another win. It's going to be tough, though. There's some competition in this race. We got 1 minute and 10 seconds before this race begins. Mo, looks like you need to check your Twitter, and I just want to point out that Dr. Strange also put an E on Mo. Just like pointing that out. E?
Oh, he did. Yep. Yep. I know.
I'm just saying. You're probably right, though. It makes more sense with no E. What's the E for? If it's an M-O, you know it's Mo. It's not like you're saying Ma. So you're right.
Well, it's my, that's why I say it's my M-O. But I mean, I do it because of the whole, the Bo Knows.
Oh, right.
Thing back in the day with Bo Jackson, yeah, so.
That makes all the sense in the world. You can see there's a lot of requirements for this Grand Pacific Allowance race. You must have, let's see, must have finished at least once, first, and no more than one race. So if you have more than one wins, you can't even get into this race. and you can see all the extra information. I guess that tells you that requirement for all of these types of races that you cannot, you must have finished at least first and no more than one race. All right, guys, good luck all the homies that are in this race. Here we go.
Alrighty, thank you, Vault. As we start to wind down here on Night at the Races for the end of week 1, we do appreciate everybody coming out. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube, hit that like button, we do appreciate it. But for the finale here, we got the 6-horse field locked and loaded for you. And away they go here in the Grand Pacific Allowance. It's Wizound who darts out to the lead from the inside in front of Cafe Latte. And it's Rukia 1, runs along in third in the Blue Silks, followed by ATVS in fourth. And then it's Orheim in fifth and Starter in sixth as they make their way out of the chute in this 7-furlong affair and hit the main track. The opening quarter was done in 23.790, and Wizound hasn't even broken the sweat yet and continues to show the way over ATVS. And a break of 4 back on the rail, that's Rukia, followed by Cafe Latte. And it's Starter who's now starting to pick up some ground and moves along into 5th. And now Orihime is in 6th and's got about 10 to make up here as they head into the first turn, first and only turn, by the way. It's Wizound now who starts to kick clear by 2 over ATVS, who continues to run away though and stalk the pace. And it's a 4 back to Rukia, is now being swept by Cafe Latte, my favorite type of latte. And we're closing in on the leaders here as we hit the top of the turn and head for home. It's Wizound who opens up and kicks clear by 4, but look out, he's got company. Cafe Latte is driving here on the outside, and now there's only 2 behind the leader. Final 100 to go, but it's going to be all Wizound over Cafe Latte and Starter. 146 is your order of finish.
Starter with another strong move at the end. True Starter, that's a pretty good horse for being a B+ tier horse. He always seems to do well. Won last night, ended up making a nice push to get a 3rd place on this one. Dr. Strange thought that my graphic was part of the game. I mean, it almost looks that way. They're so close to realistic on these. Tucson says he's watching some Walk Through Tokyo. I'm not sure what that is, but apparently an esports lounge just popped up, and that's exactly what we're talking about. The esports lounge is what these suites are that Third Time makes, and that's the company that also makes Photo Finish Live. All right, let's do the chat winner gift one more time for all our chat winners. We didn't have a lot of them today. Maybe next week we'll have a lot of them. The horse goes a little wild on there. We go wild when we get chat wins in here. And guys, we appreciate you. Me and Mo appreciate you very much for hanging out with us on Saturday Night Racing. We're going to start doing this every weekend, Friday and Saturday night. Me and Mo are big on this game. We're trying to get into it earlier. We're trying to learn everything we can about it. And next weekend, you can expect to see maybe some OGs or members of the team on here for some AMAs to give us some more information. Because as you can tell, I'm a noob. Mo knows a little bit about it, but I'm learning. I'm still just learning. And Mo hasn't been into it for a long time either, so he's still learning a bit too. So we want to tell you thank you very much for hanging out with us. Keep an eye out for next weekend's Friday and Saturday night races. We'll be back again, and keep your eye on the marketplace. We might start seeing some more horses get listed for cheaper so that you guys can pick them up. Yes, Tucson Collectibles, it's on the Solana blockchain. Mo, thank you, my man. Great job calling the races tonight. Appreciate you, bro. Anything you want to say
brother,
before we head out?
No, man. Appreciate you as always. Good time, good stream, chat. Appreciate you guys coming out, hanging out. Again, if you need horses, do what Dr. Strange did. Ping me on Twitter or Discord. And yeah, we'll get you guys set up. All right? Appreciate y'all, man. Have a good night.
Yeah, we have a Photo Finish channel in the Discord server, so get in there and ask around, and you'll be able to find some horses. Or get into that Photo Finish Live Discord server itself. I have the invite link in the description, and you might be able to talk some guys in there into sending you over a horse. All right, guys, we'll see y'all next week. Later.
Peace.